Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 540th episode of the GeekVerse podcast. I'm the Clown Prince of Draft, Trasnell, and I'm joined by...
I am the daft drafter, Kirklin Patzer.
I'm Adam Hart Drafter, Dylan Muzz.
I'm the D-Drafters, Taylor Field.
D-Drafters, there you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is the, like I said, 540th episode. We're going to get to the movie draft. We got some Patreon questions. We got some Dexter news, which, you know, it just warms my heart that something that died a long time ago. It was one of our passions, keeps hanging on by a thread, but we got news that and the small little Disney stuff. So lots of things going on. Dylan and Kirklin, at this time, you can already listen to it. There's a side quest up, an extra Nintendo Direct side quest, so I'm sure that's going to be good. I haven't listened to it, but I trust
Very juicy.
Good. Lots of juice going on there. And then, Dylan, you dropped, what was the other bonus side quest you dropped this week?
Yeah, a little Marvel Snap doodad, I guess. Talking about some of my favorite decks and whatnot. So, yeah, go check that out as well. It's a good time.
Mm-hmm. And then... Wow, Taylor, that was a quick thrown together thumbnail, wasn't it there? I didn't even ask
I made
you
it
for
this morning. I didn't know the
you?
news topics
Okay,
or anything,
that's
so I
fair.
made it this morning.
The other topics broke later on in the Patreon.
It's a damn good thumbnail. Eh?
It's great.
It works. I just went to go share the link. I'm just like, man, that's the most basic bitch one.
Well, I
you've ever
remember you
done.
talking about because we did another draft. Like, oh, you didn't do a draft thumbnail for this? Like, well, I don't know. It's like a draft. Like, you do the superhero draft. Like, oh, it's 6 a.m. I better whip something together here.
Well, you didn't have to. I understand.
That blue,
life
though,
happens.
really pops. So I think it works.
It's very nice. And then, check out next week. A big thank you to those guys. I had to punt side quest because I was pretty sickly the past 2 days and whatnot. So me and Don are going to talk about some Midnight Suns and talk about some Wolverine. And I didn't see it in the show notes, but did you add any of this Last of Us leak rumor stuff for 3?
No, but we can.
Then I'm
talk
adding
about
it. Then I'm adding it. So
right,
look
let's
out
do
for
it.
that. Hogwarts Legacy review's coming out. That's dropping in a couple hours. Not the review. The game's dropping in a couple hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I haven't played it.
Yeah, we recorded it already.
2 weeks. In 2 weeks is when our review
two-
is.
Does the game drop tomorrow for all the standard
Thursday
casuals
night.
like me?
Yeah,
9 p.m.
Tuesday it dropped for the early digital.
deluxe
and then
folks.
Thursday for the
Pay to
regular,
win.
the regular.
Pay to play.
It is pay to play.
It is. It literally is pay to play. And then
That's what all
yeah.
games are, Travis.
Yeah.
That's true. That's life, actually.
Except for Fortnite. You don't have to pay to play Fortnite.
That's true.
Yeah.
Life is just pay to live. But and then Ant-Man will be out next week. There'll be a U season 4 part 1. I hate promoting that stupid title. Sometime this weekend, Last of Us will be 2 days from now. And then Super Bowl, we're gonna be in a Flash trailer, a Little Mermaid trailer, and I guess an Ant-Man trailer. There's rumors of
Marvels,
Guardians.
is that confirmed?
It's not confirmed. It's just rumored. The
I
two
want
that
it
are
so
still
bad.
rumored are that and Indie, which I think Indie is like a must to be on there. So either way, there's gonna be a big day of a bunch of trailers. Air, Ben Affleck's new movie. Excited for that. Amazon, they paid $7 million to have a Super Bowl ad. It's a movie that he directed that stars him and Matt Damon. It's about the guys that started Air Jordans. It's a big movie for Amazon because it's going to be, I think, their first movie that they're putting a movie theatrical first, and then it's going to go to like their own purebred made one. So
The Goodwill Hunting boys getting back together. huh?
exactly, yeah. And Affleck hasn't directed since I think 2017. So it's been a hot minute, you know.
Okay.
So,
His chair's
don't-
cold.
Yeah. Oh, he hasn't directed, but he's given us some great memes. He's given us some. I didn't know. I didn't know where to go
You're not
from
wrong.
that. But you know where to go from that, Taylor? Where can I find all the stuff we'll be talking about in the next few weeks? It's starting to get packed.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us at the Internet Connection in the search bar. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerseCast is our Twitter. GeekVerse is our Facebook.
I blame my recovering sickness. I'm not 100%. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, man, I didn't even promote the show yet. That's great. Head over down below to find everything you need to know. Audio, video, the Discord. Join our Discord because Twitter could break at any moment. And that's where
It's
you
your
can
only
find
safe
us.
haven on the internet. Is our Discord.
Exactly. And not only are we there, other listeners there, some GUA people are there, so go do that. Go check out the GUA Podcast Network that has over 7 shows. And yeah, subscribe to any of our feeds, like, rate, review, and if you really like us, head over to Patreon. You get a bunch of stuff ad-free, early, and exclusive. I don't know. I think after 9 I have to look. It's not in this weekend. It'll be in the next 2 weekends because this weekend's jam packed. But it'll be coming up. It'll be sometime after Ant-Man, I imagine. So look out for that. You can call them that. And then a bunch of X-Men retros, John Wicks, The Evil Deads. There's just tons of stuff up there right now. Just I haven't even counted the amount of hours that are up there right now. But I think we're getting past the 20 hours of early exclusive stuff for just this year. There's other stuff on there. You can go way back, and I don't know. I don't think we've ever really released our Nintendo. We should go back and look at our Nintendo Phase 1. Remember we did that a long time ago? That was a Patreon exclusive. I should go dig into the deep files and stuff like that. So and then thank you to our Patreon producers. Thank you, Kirklin, Aaron Bray, Neighbor Darkness, Joshua Wright, who you get to vote on Patreon polls, you get to vote on movies and stuff we review. So big thank you to you guys and everyone else that's on there and everyone else that just listens. Thank you. Just taking your time, whatever you listen. If it's one show, all of them, we really appreciate you. So let's get into thought bubbles. Let's get into no. How are you guys doing? Let me promote this thing. So kill 2 minutes for me.
How's it going,
really
Taylor?
good.
That was
One of those
so
kind of
clean.
nights, I think.
That was so clean. Yeah.
This is what the people want, right? The town hall. We want you guys to have more laid back
too structured.
conversations. Yeah, it's
Too
too structured.
structured.
Here you go. It's just like the old days where we're just rambling.
How's it going,
Doing
Taylor?
good.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fabulous.
Let's start off with this. I want to get S-Bubs. Yeah, I've been waiting, S-Bubs. Just finished watching Babylon. Haven't finished my review yet. But 5 out of 5. Yeah, I kept checking. You're part of the Babylon Hive. Hell yeah. It was very
That sounds like a finished review to me. 5 out of 5. Let's do it. Punch it in.
Finished my review yet.
S-Bub, no, he'll always like
That's a rating.
Because I cheated S-Bub. So I'd seen that. He said they'd watched it. But I didn't see no review. So I cheated, went on his letterbox, and I looked at where he listed his 2022 movies, and I saw it was in his top 5 for last year. So I was like, okay, he's in the he's in with me. I don't have it there. I got it top 7, so he has it higher than me. But I'm happy because I watched it this weekend again with Emily. I still liked it for the most part. I'm a 4.5 out of 5 there. S-Bubs. There's the elephant is a bit much for me, but and the piss, but let's go watch Babylon. But I watched it with Emily, and her review was
I saw that on the letterbox.
25% good story, 75% awful. So there you go. Because with Babylon, there's a big divide. It's like a lot of people just fucking hate that movie.
I'm gonna trust your review. I'm not gonna watch it. So
You wouldn't like it. I not to.
You're putting him in a box.
I don't think there's many Oscar bait type stuff that I think Taylor likes. That I know that's on there.
give me one that I like. What's one?
Did you?
Oscar movie?
Where did you feel about Everything Everywhere All at Once? 3.5 out of 5 is a great example of oof. What about La La Land?
You're not gonna like this, but I've never seen it.
Yeah. See, I don't think any of that stuff Okay, let me.
Did
do
you ever
this.
watch Parasite?
No.
I never seen Parasite. Either.
You are fucking crazy. Go watch that. Right, leave the cast and go watch that.
You got
That's-
the edit, Kirkland. I'm gonna go watch Parasite.
No.
The best film to never win the Golden Geeks. It should have, but okay, Taylor. Even this year's nominees, Women Talking. Have you seen
Women
that?
talking.
The
Yeah.
hell is that?
It's a very
Yeah.
powerful film. Don't discredit it. No, you haven't
I'm
seen
not
what I
clearly.
have.
It's in the
Ba-
Oscars.
What is it?
Banshees of Inisherin. Have you seen that? It's on
Banshees?
Disney. Banshees of Inisherin. It's
Like
on
the
Disney
ghouls?
Plus. What? No. Banshees of Inisherin. It's Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson. It's a very funny, dark comedy, and then it gets really dark. No, I haven't seen
I
that.
saw the title card.
Okay, The Fablesman. You like Steven Spielberg?
That is on the list. That's on the list.
It's on the list, but you haven't seen it. All
Did
Quiet
you
on
say
the
the
Western Front.
Fablesmen? Isn't it the
Fablemans? The Fablemans.
The Fable.
Not the
Fablesmen.
Fablesmen, no.
All Quiet on the Western Front. What about that one? Netflix war movie. You like war? You like Call of Duty?
I love war. I love a good battle.
I love war.
Okay,
He
I'm
likes
not
war
prone to that
specifically
bit.
from the first person perspective.
Elvis. What about Elvis?
I've seen Elvis.
Yeah, but how'd you feel with that?
Oh, it's low.
You
I'm
didn't
not-
nominate for any
higher than
geeks.
3.
Any,
Yeah.
any golf-
See, I'm not saying I'm not being snide. Oh, you have to like. I'm just saying that's not your type of film. Tar.
Would
Have
I
you seen
like
Tar?
Babylon, Travis? You like my taste.
Babylon's very tricky for me because there's some stuff that's just it's not like La La Land or Whiplash. And Dylan, you saw First Man. It's not like that. Dylan, I think, is the only other person I know that saw First Man because we reviewed it, and I said on my letterbox review, I feel like he put out First Man and everyone called it boring, and he was like, fuck everybody, I'm gonna make this super outrageous movie, and he like let Tarantino like possess him for a little bit. But like, let me spoil the first 2 minutes. It's very small. Okay, their main character, he has to transport an elephant up a hill, so it's all fun. It's for like a Hollywood party. It's all fun, love and dandy. There's one guy helping him out. While he's helping him out, this elephant just like shits on him for 30 seconds straight, and it's just literally the elephant's butthole poo coming out on the guy. And I was like, too much for me. And it was like supposed to be like fun, and there's a few other moments like that where it's too much, and I feel like it's 3 hours and 12 minutes, and even then it feels like there's not enough time for all the characters. But Margot Robbie's fucking fantastic. Pitt is great. I can't remember the main guy's name. I've never seen him before. He's a great Spanish actor. I think you would like it. I think Dylan and Kirklin would like it in varying degrees. Not for Taylor. And it gets very preachy about cinema and why it's so important, and it gets very like movies are the be all end all, which I love movies, but I don't subscribe to that, you know.
Why don't they do an Oscars for like the other movies, like the Pacific Rims and stuff?
Oh,
we do.
that's
That's
Star
called Golden
Wars.
Geeks,
Well,
baby.
it's Golden
Golden
Geeks,
Razzies.
yeah. The Razzies, fuck.
Yeah,
Pacific
Diego
Rim. I think that's like the
Canva,
first place
yeah.
you went. You're like, that
all
needed
movies
some
like
fucking
Top Gun
awards.
got nominated this year, but I didn't throw that in there because that's not an Oscar bait movie. That just got like, and Avatar got nominated too, but that's just like it's James
there we
Cameron and
go.
visual effects and stuff like that. So.
There's some Oscar movies we like.
Those are the outliers and stuff like that. But speaking of, let's start with Maddie's question, because Maddie, I don't know why you chose violence today, but that's fine. He said, because we got Ant-Man coming and everything and stuff like that, he said, which current MCU character series of films, someone who has had a series or either had two, what is it? Someone who has had either two or more solo films. There you go. Good job, Travis. Would you erase from existence? Why did you want us to erase anything from existence, Maddie? That I don't know, but
I feel like the way he phrased it too was as if like it wasn't mandatory, but we could have that power. And it's like I would just choose not to, but obviously you got to pick someone.
yeah.
Yeah, it was. I feel like I had my easy answer, and then I double read it. I reread it, and then it said two or more films, and I'm like, oh, that makes it extremely challenging, because I feel like my
Yeah.
easy knocks would have been something that like only has one project out. whether
You were
it's a
going
movie
for
or a TV
Eternals
series.
if it was one film.
I was
Kirkland
going for Eternals.
Kirkland had the knife out ready.
Maybe Miss Marvel, even though I like that character, so maybe Moon Knight. I don't know, but I mean, like that's like a solidified Mount Rushmore in my eyes, like character that I just have to like erase from existence. Like that's extremely challenging.
You got a lot of
Superman,
options though. You
Mike.
got Thor, Cap, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Black Panther, Spidey, the Guardians. I guess you could consider that. That's a lot of options, at least.
But they're not easy. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
those
for me
are
it's
options.
easy. I'm taking
Oh.
Thor down. I'm
Yeah, I
taking
guess
Thor
it's
down.
easy for-
The first
yeah.
two movies completely suck. If I can never watch Love and Thunder again, I can actually live with that. Ragnarok, that sucks. But when I
Yeah.
look at some of these other ones, there's just no way I can get rid of them. Ant-Man, like maybe, but I feel like Quantumania is going to be such a heavy hitter that it would be hard to make that decision. But obviously, I haven't seen it yet, so it's a bit of a prediction at this point.
Yeah, that's the tough thing. Like for me, ask me after Ant-Man, because I think my gut would be to go with Ant-Man, because I like Ant-Man 1 enough. I like Ant-Man 2 a lot, but I just love that first Thor. I can't get rid of that, because that means I'm getting rid of Tom Hiddleston's performance in that movie, and I just that's a touchstone for me.
You
that
keep
first
Loki,
Thor.
though, so that's the thing.
Yeah, but that first movie's so good when he's teetering on the edge of good and bad, and that you get to see that full point, and it's like it's him and Thor as the co-lead where Avengers is around, and I do enjoy Ragnarok a lot, and I still like Love and Thunder, so I think it's just maybe the quantity of them, and I like Thor, like, because technically I probably just have the first Thor ranked above the two Ant-Man, but then the other ones I have all lower. Like it'd be Ant-Man, Ant-Man Wasp, and then all the rest of the Thors. So it's tough, but I just really like that first Thor. So it'd probably be Ant-Man, but ask me after next week, because either it would be really hard, or if the movie sucks, it could be even easier. Because then if what is it, Quantumania disappoints, it's like, okay, well, I can get rid of this. I'll see Kang again. You know, like technically the scene first depends how much he's in it and stuff like that. So I'd go Ant-Man for now.
Yeah, the Ant-Man, I guess I could go without. I love Paul Rudd, though, and like those movies are just like they're fun to watch. Thor would be, I think, the next runner-up, like Superman Mike said. But like, just missing like Chris Hemsworth from Infinity War and Endgame, like I just can't do that. So I might have to go bold here. Just go Doctor Strange because I feel like the first movie. I feel like I was very low.
Fuck. What? Come on now. This is my favorite thing to do to Kirklin now.
Never gets old, Travis. Yeah. So I don't know. Like the first movie did hit super hard. I feel like great performance
me
and
hard.
everything, but I don't know. I feel like I could go without him. So just give me Wong.
I want to see. I'm gonna throw out. Here's a fishing rod. Throw one out here. See if anyone's gonna bite on this. Without its third movie, would anybody be with me of getting rid of Spider-Man? Because I feel like if I didn't have No Way Home,
I'd still get rid of Thor.
Really? Yeah, I guess you would get rid of Thor. But for me, because I like Spider-Man a lot better in the crossovers than I do in the first two solo ones. No Way Home, perfect. But that would be my answer. If No Way Home didn't exist, I would get rid of
That is fair.
Spider-Man. So
That is fair.
I can't get rid of Tom
I
Holland's
know you can't get
performance
rid
as
of- yeah.
Spider-Man. That's pitch perfect.
you wouldn't get rid of it though. He's in Civil War, Infinity War, a
I-
lot of wars.
Yeah, I think the character still exists.
Michelle
It's just the
Jones though
movies.
too, Zendaya, MJ. Like I
Michelle
just like that.
Jones.
you ever in Euphoria, you know they're wasting her in those movies. Come on.
I like the chemistry between the two of them. So I don't know. There's some good moments.
Yeah, but like I said, Superman. Yeah, I know. Same thing. We all have that pitch. It's all different. You get plenty
Yeah.
of Thor and Avengers, but mine was the Loki. Mine was like you get that solo, and that's the same thing. If I'm getting rid of Thor, it's just the Thor movies, right? Like, is the Loki series attached to that though, Dylan?
No,
If-
Loki's good, and you still have Loki in Avengers as
Okay,
the evil
what if
guy.
that was the addendum though, Dylan?
You still
if
get
Loki,
Infinity War?
If Loki was attached to the Thor series, would you still get rid of it? Let's say if that was added on.
I mean, at that point, now we're talking 4 movies and 2 seasons of TV. So compare
Yeah.
that to like, yeah, even 2 Doctor Strange movies. That would feel like just a bad bargain at that point, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you, Big Wumbo. You're always there to be my hype man. I swear that's not my account. He says all the boys have lights on the boy. Travis just in the darkness with that green underglow. The vibe is immaculate. Thank you. Taylor, you've been awfully quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's time to speak.
Oh,
It's your turn.
We've all answered.
It's your turn.
this is tough. This is very tough.
What were you
Like-
doing while
Honestly, I've been staring at this list of all the Marvel movies because like
Wow.
this is really tricky for me to kind of pick. Like the single films, yeah, I know exactly which ones I would get rid of, but the weird request of 2 or more definitely puts a
weird
curveball on
request?
this.
It's a fun hypothetical. Come on, don't say Maddie is a weird
You
request.
fucking weirdo, Maddie.
you
Why'd you
weirdo.
ask us this? I do want to know, Maddie, what brought it on, because it did just seem like out of left field, like you had a vision that you
Yeah,
put a
he
gun
probably
to
just
Feige's
woke
head.
up and he's like, man, fuck Iron Man. I just want to get rid of
Yeah.
that.
Wouldn't it be best if those films didn't exist? All in French, though. All in French.
Yeah, the start of the MCU. Get rid of it.
I couldn't do away with Ant-Man. I really like Ant-Man 1 and 2 because I rewatched them very recently. Again, Guardians, not a chance. Captain America, I mean, well, the first one I'm not like hugely sold on that first movie. I do like Winter Soldier and I love Civil War.
Yeah, I can't get rid of
going.
Civil War. There's no way.
No. Iron Man, it's Iron Man.
There's
Oh
no-
my
you gotta
god.
get rid of
Just like when I saw like those Iron Man movies, those first ones, like I just felt like I could be Iron Man someday. That's not gonna happen though. But Spider-Man
Keep dreaming.
definitely stays. Black Panther definitely stays. Avengers, I mean, God, those all stay.
That's the one he gets rid of.
Yeah, I just got
Take out the Avengers. Imagine
many
the
heroes
MC
on
where you
screen.
could see any of the Avenger movies.
Only
Try that
solo
machete
project.
order.
Just leading up to nothing.
Yeah.
Civil War would be the only true Avengers movie at that point.
It
though.
would
That's
be,
true.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Thor. I think that's probably
Oh my
the
God.
weakest one that I could
Love
cut.
it.
All the other I put all the other characters and scenes above that, and again we get Thor and all like Thor in Infinity War, incredible. Just love it.
Hold on, be right back, Big Lumbo.
This is what we do for the fans. We
Kirk
change our
is- yeah.
lighting.
Yeah,
That's pretty
why
much it,
If you
but-
turn in light, now this is gonna
Oh,
be like
that is
host,
quite
where
sensual, I
it's just
gotta
gonna-
say.
His looks like the Christmas trees, those Christmas lights, the white one. That's what Kirkland's going on. Though the blue one's sticking out now. I like Venom's reflection.
Oh, that's terrible. My kitchen light's on. 1 second.
No, there you go. Dylan's in the complete darkness.
This doesn't work
Dude.
so well for me.
What do you go?
Oh shit!
My eyes are just
Fried.
burning from my monitor.
Oh my gosh, Dylan. You look like you're kidnapped. You look
get
like me on the DC fandom. The Batman trailer reaction. Every once in a while, I'll go on YouTube, and that's just like the video that's like right front and
It's our
center.
biggest video of all time, I think.
I just
Oh,
look like
yeah.
I've been kidnapped and held ransom.
Have you ever seen that video, Dylan? When we did a trailer reaction.
I think
for the
I know what
Batman?
you're talking
Okay,
about,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
so
Kirklin is just
funny.
like, it's just.
Do you have your
dark.
glasses on too?
Oh, yeah.
Something like that? Yeah.
I'm like sweaty and I'm like all intense looking right at the screen.
Reflection off your glasses.
Oh man, well there you go. And then Manny also asked, with Hogwarts Legacy arriving, which house would you choose to be a part of and why? So it's interesting because like that's how it always goes, right? Because that's how it is in lore of the hat's gonna assign you something, but you. Taylor looks like he's being invested. Yeah,
If this is anyone's first GeekVerse episode, they're like immediately checked out. This
There's
is
something
not-
in the water.
Taylor, you look like you're in like a interrogation room. Like they've put the light on you. Like where were the other
I don't know
drugs
their
going?
name.
Yeah.
Where is she?
This is the thing, right? Because like the house picks for you, but it always takes your, whatever your decision into.
The hat.
What did I say?
The house.
The house, yeah, the
picks for
hat.
you.
It always takes your decision into, or your choice into the decision and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So as the green goes, I'd always have to be Slytherin. I feel like I fit that vibe. But what I'd want to do is I would want to try and redeem Slytherin, because that's what always bugged me in the movies, that they made every single Slytherin kid just a piece of shit. Like every single kid was pretty
just
much willing
serial
to turn-
killers.
Yeah,
like,
and
the
that's
whole
what
house, yeah.
that's what one idea. I've never read the full thing, but one idea I really liked of the the cursed child is Harry's son, Albus, gets put into Slytherin, and I really liked that idea of the protagonist that is against that class. Like, and that's the thing, I guess, in the book he says, or the stage play says that he's scared, he doesn't want to go into Slytherin. I guess he says that at the end of the movie, doesn't he? Part 2, Deathly Hallows.
What
He's
if
like,
I go into Slytherin?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they put him in there, so I like that idea, and I think that would be good. As far as that's what I tried to. Like, I fit some of those darker vibes, but I'd want to try to Loki it up, turn it around, get a good thing going. But green is just my aesthetic and stuff like that. But yeah, I think Slytherin. I don't. It's Slytherin or. But anytime I do anything like. When I did Pottermore, when I did trivia, I always get Gryffindor. Like, I always get Gryffindor. And I was like, yeah, you seem like Gryffindor. So I guess that's what I'd probably get, but Slytherin is what I would choose. So redeem it a bit.
I feel like
I-
there's sometimes I feel like the math of it never works out, where at least 50% or more people end up in Gryffindor no matter what, which like in the real world would not really make sense because then you just
No.
have this imbalance. But yeah, no, I we've talked about this. I feel like we talked about this recently. I forget what cast it was.
Probably
Maybe
on
it
an
was
After 9, I think.
Yeah,
when
something
this
like
got
that.
brought up.
After 9, anniversary cast, maybe.
Yeah, Harry
Yeah.
Potter retro, whatever it was. But yeah, I feel like growing up, I was like, when I was young, like, of course I want to be in Gryffindor. But then as I got older, I thought, oh, Ravenclaw, they're so smart and cunning and cool. But then I was like, I don't think that's truly me. I think that's just like what I aspire to be. But truly, I would be the one that would fall into Hufflepuff, I think. Just like the emotional element to it. I feel like they're like embracing the feminine. Oh my God, I can't. You know what I'm trying to say.
Femininity.
I think you had it right the first time.
of myself, that kind of maybe kind of artsy and stuff. So I feel like that's my place, and that's what I'll be picking for Hogwarts Legacy as well. Well, I don't know if you pick in that game or if you are assigned. I'm guessing you pick, but that's I think where I'll end up either way. So looking forward
There
to
you
that.
go.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, like, just like Dylan said, I definitely would have just gone Gryffindor every time. I feel like way back in the day too, like just I feel like I was so obsessed with Harry Potter. I just like had these like little Harry Potter glasses that I would throw on. So I just like I had the Harry Potter vibe for sure. So definitely naturally Gryffindor there. But a few years back, I did like the Pottermore test, the one that they actually have there, and I got Ravenclaw, and that was a surprise to me. And then I was stewing on it a
You're
little
so
bit,
cool and smart and cunning.
Thank you. I was reading the traits and everything. Blue's the best color in my eyes, so that fits as well. And I feel like I'm witty sometimes to a fault, so I definitely think I align with Ravenclaw there. Jessica would be pumped to hear that. I know she's a big Ravenclaw fan. I mean, she's got it inked on her arm, so she's the true Ravenclaw.
She's ride or
individual.
die.
She's ride or die. I don't know if I'm ride or die, but I'm definitely going Ravenclaw when I get my hands on Hogwarts Legacy. Releasing tomorrow. was trying to sound like a advertisement,
man
but
over
it didn't
here.
work. Yeah.
I have always just
I
assumed
think you could
was a
turn your lights
Gryffindor.
back on there, Taylor.
Look on like the surface of the sun right now.
I took it. My hair is blasted too. I've been trying to use the hair dryer a little
yeah.
bit more, and so yeah, my hair. I just look like I got
Blow
fucking
dryer?
like.
I
took
thought you
my
drove
head
home
out
like Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
He's like head out the window.
with the lights off too.
You shouldn't be blow drying your hair, Taylor.
Why not? It's nice. I do it all over. Like I get my pits, I get my chest hair.
That's
so
fine.
It's
It's
great.
just as you and I have
Chest
talked
hair,
about.
wow.
As you and I have talked about, the men in your family they can become bald, right?
I
And
got a
that's-
nice piece of skin right
Wait,
here.
does using a blow dryer make you bald? Is that a thing?
if it's a family trait, it does make it go faster. Losing
Does it
hair.
really?
It
It
might be like a
accelerates
wise
your
tale.
head
Yeah,
age?
that's what I've heard from many people, and people because I used to blow dry my hair a lot when I still do, but when I was younger, single, I was always like I used to have my hair the way I have it gelled up. I used to have it like that, but I did not have a single piece of gel. I was like Taylor knows or Kirklin knows. I was like Sydney Sweeney in Euphoria season 2. I was in the
yeah.
bathroom for like an hour and a half, and my people couldn't believe it, and the girls loved it because they touched my hair and none of the gunk in it, but it like looked like because it was just I would just wet it, blow dry it. But that someone told me that. But then I looked at my family history. No one's really bald, so I was fine. But Taylor, you got to be careful there.
Google says skip a generation, but at the end of the day, I'm ready to go bald. Like
Okay,
my
good.
dad, he has a stellar look, and I got all the gear for it. I know the hats I'm gonna wear too, and the shirts too.
I'm happy for you.
Got all my equipment.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, back to the Hogwarts realm.
Oh,
I've always assumed I'm a Gryffindor, and I've always kind of like leaned that way. At some point, I'll do the Pottermore test before I get into Hogwarts Legacy, because I can like truly commit
But
to my
why?
house.
What if there's like a
What if you get
trivia game
Slytherin?
in there? Yeah.
If there's a what?
If there's like what if there's equivalent of that in the game and you can find out
There's
there?
got to be.
Yeah, like personality questions.
Um,
Because that's what Pottermore does. It's
I'm
just-
guessing
there-
you like do a
could
questionnaire,
be.
it picks one for you, and then you can like change if you want.
I guess
Yeah.
that might be the case. But the way my friend kind of explained it, like you just pick, and then if you want to be a different house, you have to restart and just pick a different house. So
I think in the game or in Pottermore?
in the game,
Yeah, Pottermore you get no
So-
choice. You're a Gryffindor and that's what
Yeah.
you are. So
No
Yeah.
retries.
yeah.
Make a second email.
One
Good to
only
go.
time I logged in. Got Gryffindor, that's it. Fuck Pottermore. I'm out. Okay, well, thank you very much, Maddie. It was good hearing from you and getting some questions there. And then I saw him in the chat earlier there. Where is it here? Super bad, Mike. Now this kind of goes into a little bit, but like we're all men. We're all we got a gentleman's bet, like with the movie draft. Like we're gonna share some of our opinions, but whatever. It comes into it stuff. So he asks, what's gonna be the highest combined box office gross? 2023's 3 MCU movies or the DC's 4 movies? And then which of those do you think has the best chance of cracking $1 billion? So it's funny because like I'll go first because if anyone listens to Marvel Alliance, someone asked that question. So I pondered it a little bit. For me, I'm still picking MCU because I think Shazam and Blue Beetle have chances of doing quite low. The only thing is with Aquaman and Flash, I think Aquaman will do well. I think Flash is the make or break for both lists because I could see that movie just being like, yeah, okay, solid 5, 6 like does really well, but doesn't do anything, like isn't breaking records. Or I could see it just blowing up with like having Michael Keaton. If it is like kind of the last time you might see some of these DCU characters and stuff like that. Like at one point, Cavill and Wonder Woman did have cameos. I don't think they do anymore, but if they did, there's that. And just Keaton alone, that like we saw Top Gun last year, how like that 80s nostalgia ate everything up. If this movie is good, and James Gunn last week says it's one of the greatest superhero movies he's ever seen, if the movie's good and Keaton delivers, you could get that Top Gun like, man, everyone just fucking loves Michael Keaton again and they want to see this. So I think I'm with S. Bubs. Actually, I think from Marvel side's Guardians of the Galaxy, the only other one is I think Flash. The rest of them, I don't. I think even Guardians is going to top up like maybe 900, which is really good. But I think Flash has a chance of $1 billion. And I'm still going to pick MCU, but for me, Flash is the make or break because I think all the MCU ones are like a 700 to 800 million at least. Where I don't think Shazam's going to do well. Blue Beetle though could be a surprise hit. Maybe like it's in August. Maybe it just gets an audience and it's big for the Hispanic audience as well. Because can you name me a live action Hispanic hero? No, you can't. So So that's the thing. Like, it could be like Shang-Chi and Black Panther, where that community raises that film up. So I think DC has a lot of wild cards that have a good upswing, where Marvel, I think, has a steady, we kind of know what it's going to do. So
Yeah, when I was thinking about this, I felt like they are going to be very neck and neck, which is actually an exciting prospect. I hadn't really considered that, and that'll make it even more interesting when we're drafting our picks later on here. But yeah, even though Marvel has one less movie than DC, I still would give it the slight edge, but it is truly close. Like, it's a 51-49 kind of situation here. And then in terms of which ones could hit $1 billion, I don't really want to play my hand before the draft here, but I think, I mean, Aquaman and Captain Marvel have previously.
Just get false
Guardians
info right
2 is pretty damn close. Shazam and Ant-Man, nothing to sneeze at, though they weren't really close to the $1 billion mark. So I feel like those ones hitting it again is definitely possible. Flash, I really have no idea. I'd say probably not, but who knows? So I'll stick with those ones that I just mentioned.
And I know, again, that's coming up. Vincent Moore says Ant-Man might get $1 billion with the world of mouth. It could, but I can't. I don't see Ant-Man hitting $1 billion. Like, unless Majors is just like the talk of the town, but I don't think it's big enough. I think it'd be the biggest, like you guys were talking about on Trust or on Weekly Geek, not Trust. Totally. What were you hosting that show for?
You did tell us the topics that we talked about.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, that happens. But I think it will be the biggest Ant-Man. But I don't know if I could see $1 billion, because even Doctor Strange last year didn't hit $1 billion, and that was like a big. That's still, it was like 930, 40, something, like, it was a big movie, but Doctor Strange had that, like Xavier, rumors of other cameos. So I don't think Ant-Man's gonna get that.
Yeah, for me, the DC side of things, I definitely think the Flash. I feel like the Flash is going to be the biggest one out of all of them, like even including Aquaman. I think Aquaman is going to do fantastic because the first one did fantastic.
Yeah.
Big Billy up there, but I don't know.
And even what's his name's even bigger now. Yeah, like, he's doing a bigger story now. He's the main villain of that now, right? He's not like the first movie where he just had like 15 minutes. He's the main lead of the bad guys. So
yeah, exactly. But like something in me is still just telling me that the pillars that is the MCU coming out this year, I just think it's way too solid, especially because the Guardians is like the big round out to that trilogy. You got Ant-Man, which is just like exploring a whole new world. We got Kang coming in. What else do we have coming out? We have the Marvels as well.
Yeah.
Like Dylan, you mentioned Captain Marvel was already $1 billion film, and I don't know, just the team up aspect I think will boost that as well. So, but like Dylan mentioned, I could definitely see it being pretty close, and honestly, like I could be surprised with my picks, and then it ended up being DC. So I think it's definitely an exciting year all around. But yeah, I'm gonna have to put my chips on the MCU wagon on this one, and for the Billy, I'm gonna put the Flash.
Interesting.
And then for MCU, I could see Guardians being up there just because it is the final round out to the trilogy, and I think it'll have like a long lasting effect that people will be going to see it multiple times and just telling friends and family to see it. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
I feel like it's gonna be MCU. I think they're gonna be just gonna like cross that finish line there with the higher overall. I think we just got some heavy hitters here. We have two third cap off films this year, which alone I think is just gonna kind of like dish out like volumes of cash, watts of cash. So
wads.
Yeah, like I do feel like Ant-Man would hit that $1 billion just because I feel like there's
Really? Wow.
I feel like there's enough juice there that people really want to get immersed, and this is like the full swing into the multiverse a little. Well, I guess quantum realm, but like multi kind of stuff too, because I feel like we're kind of get that notion of copies and stuff like that. So I feel like
that was No Way Home. I know people keep saying this, that this is the start of it. No Way Home was the start of it, even if they didn't mean it to. Because
that's fair. That's the start of it. But I think we'll get like this is continuing it. I guess I should have said, and kind of like adding more icing to the cake. So yeah, I think that like I'm not gonna put my money on Ant-Man breaking that $1 billion. I'm gonna go Guardians being the $1 billion breaker. So yeah.
Let's see. Never underestimate the ability to get a wet, shirtless Momoa, put butts in seats, get in the Christmas slot. Yeah, and the Christmas slot is deadly now. Any movie that gets that December slot is, do you think Mario might get close to billion? Well, you know what? Because the chat's here, we're going to shift up topics. We're going to take our first ad break. I was saving the movie draft to last, but we're going to do it next because we're already flirting with it, so we're going to get into it. So let's take our first ad break, and then we'll be right back with the 2023 movie draft. And we're back. So yeah, we'll do that. So Sam, I saw your Patreon question for Dexter. Don't worry, we're gonna do that. It was just asking our thoughts on the news. So we'll do the Disney and Dexter thing, Disney and Dexter thing after this. But yeah, we're in the thick of it. So last year we did the movie draft. I'm gonna read off everyone's list here. I didn't even, it doesn't even matter. I didn't even put Black Panther's tally, but I lost. I was somewhere under 3 billion. I don't know. I didn't do the exact math, but I was last place with under 3 billion. So there you go. Kirklin, you had a good run with Top Gun in there and stuff like that. You were a little over 4 billion. But then, as we kind of knew what was going to happen, because somehow Little Blue Aliens, Taylor Field with a little over 6 billion won.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Travis, you got crushed.
I did.
Oh
Well,
my
for the
God.
lists, what I had is I had Black Panther, I had Strange, and then I had Flash. That was gone. I had Lightyear. That bombed. Mission Impossible, that got delayed. Super Pets bombed. Morbius bombed. Halloween Ends didn't do good. Nope, underperformed. Like all the ones I picked really did. They've suffered.
What was the
big
final
time.
number on Top Gun?
Oh, it's something
Ish,
like
even just roughly.
it's like a 1.6 or 7 billion or
Holy
something like that.
fuck, that's
Yeah, it made tons of
crazy.
money. Yeah, and then Taylor had Jurassic World, Thor, Avatar, Mario got delayed, Sonic 2, Northman, Fantastic
Northman
Beasts.
put me over, didn't it?
No, Northman almost sunk you if it was Raptor. Northman only made like 70 million there, and then Creed got delayed and you had Jackass Forever. Avatar, Kirkland had the win till Avatar. If you didn't have Avatar, Kirkland had it because he Puss in Boots. That was your last movie of the year, which did pretty good with like 300 million or something like that. Ambulance, The Black Phone, Top Gun. Amsterdam, that one almost sunk Kirkland, 24 million at the box office. But no, this was actually, I think, the one that put Kirkland into contention was Top Guns, but also Minions. People forget $930 million. So it almost made $1 billion of Minions, that movie. Like all other family animated movies bombed, not Minions. People fucking still love those Minions. And then you had the Batman over there. That was at 800 something. So yeah, so good job,
Healthy
gentlemen.
numbers.
So as it goes, someone to get that big wheel while
Oh,
I'm
I got it
explaining
ready.
this. So okay, Kirkland has it ready. So we're gonna put the names on the wheel. We'll do a snake order. So what's gonna happen is we're going to draft 10 movies, and as we just said, what we think is going to do the best box office wise, what the people are gonna go pay their hard-earned money for Taylor. So Taylor, do not pick streaming movies again this year. Dylan, you don't know, he like 2 or 3 times drafted Netflix movies, and we had to tell him like, you sure you want to do that? But yeah, not
I mean,
those
sometimes
ones.
they get their like one
Yeah.
night only, Knives Out moment,
Glass
you know?
Onion, yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is too, Netflix didn't release the Glass Onion numbers, so you wouldn't get shit. So don't pick a stream movie unless you're really confident it's gonna go to the theater. So Kirkland, pull that wheel up.
Here we go.
He just puts
Drum
it
roll,
on. So,
please.
oh, look at that, it's me. All right, it's spinning. All
That
4 of
being
us are on
said-
there. Here we go. It is myself.
Oh,
Coming in
Field.
clutch.
Taylor Field gets it.
Look at that. All right.
Okay, there you go. Taylor
Next
gets to
up.
go first. Motherfucker.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
shit.
There you
Is
go.
this gonna do this
Oh,
again?
it's rolling.
Can do it again?
Travis, number 2.
Yeah, okay, I'll take second.
All right. Give me Dylan.
I'll probably be last again for the 100th draft in a row here.
You got a knack.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a Pokeball right now. Kirkland and Dylan is last again. But you know, you get that
That's
back end
beautiful.
snake order and stuff like that. So, and Dylan, do you have a chart to write these down? Wait, you shared
got
an
a
email with
chart.
me, did you? Okay, perfect. So, Taylor Field, big one says, make sure you explain the rules twice. So, you're drafting 10 movies. What do you think will do good box
Streaming
office
films,
wise?
right? Yeah.
But again, hey, I can't say shit. Taylor,
Pictures.
you know what, Kirkland? We should just let him get the streaming movies
I
last
got
year.
should've.
We helped him.
billion reasons why I'm gonna win this year.
We helped you, but there you go. So, and as usual, once a movie is drafted, it is off the market. As I recommend, as always, everyone have first showing up because that is a good kind of barometer. I'm sure you guys have already had lists and stuff, but if not, first showing gives you everything from January to, and obviously you can't pick anything in January. It goes until January
for Brady.
31st. The reason we did that is because like Avatar, What is it, Aquaman this year, and at one point Mario. Like, there's lots of movies that come out December, like the last week, so that's why we leave to the 31st, because we kind of leave that hangover time and stuff like that. So 31st of 2024 is when the winner is declared. So Taylor Field, you got first pick. What do you want?
Ooh, I mean, I knew exactly what my pick was going to be this first one here. If I got first place, I'm just going to lock in Super Mario.
Damn it!
Wow.
I mean,
all
it's
right.
just it's going to be good.
And Vincent Moore asks, do you think Mario will get close to $1 billion? Absolutely, I do. And that's why I wanted it as well. Mario, I think, was the top pick. That's a good one. I think it could be the biggest movie next year.
Who am I to debate Taylor after crushing it last year? But that was definitely like 7th or 8th on my list, to be honest.
Whoa,
so
okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm underselling it. I still think it's going to do great, but I definitely wouldn't have been my first pick. But
The same people that did Minions, though, is doing this. Like, made us that $900 million movie, you know? So,
Made me that $900 million movie.
yeah,
it's true.
Sure.
I just feel like even in the gaming podcasts I listen to, a lot of people are like, I don't really care about this thing. They say that, though. The question is, will they actually go and see it? So we'll see.
I think it's just the families they're gonna go multiple
Yeah.
times. I think, like, my kids are so excited for,
Nice.
like,
Yeah.
and they haven't even played the games. Like, it's just like those trailers. I think it's the animation style. I just feel like there's so much. It's a 4-quadrant. I think you're gonna get older people like, oh, I played a Mario game in the back in the day. Like, I'll go watch this and stuff. So
I think it's a
They're-
big GA movie too. It's
Yeah.
like it's not directly like targeting just gamers or whatever, like big Mario fans. Yeah, it's gonna be a big one.
okay, so that took my first off. So I'll say I had 4 ready to go. It's just a question of what do I go for first. Oh, there's always
Back to formula.
back to formula. Okay, I'm gonna hope the same thing happens this year. It's not gonna have the same effect because I don't think the other franchises have. But he always produces quality, and people loved him last year, so hopefully they're gonna love him again. I'm gonna pick Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part
Alright.
1. I'm gonna hope that Tom Cruise magic strikes again. Like I said, I don't think he'll get Top Gun levels, but maybe some of those people that saw Top Gun are like, I fucking love Tom Cruise. Like, I'm in a Tom Cruise move, so I think I'm happy with that being my number 1, and I feel confident it's coming out this year. Last year got delayed, so I had it last year, so it's only fitting I get it again. So number 1, Tom
Nice.
Cruise, taking me to the promised land. I hope so.
And we go to me. All right, first pick the 2023 movie draft. I'm gonna take Dune Part 2.
All
Dune
right.
Part 2.
I'm
Okay.
expecting big things. I think everybody that saw that first one loved it. Maybe started with a 9.5, ended up being a 10 out of 10. So yeah,
Cowards, those people. I call them cowards.
I think this one will do better than what the first one was. So
So do you have any worries, though? Because this is an anti-Kirklin patcher strategy with the games you picked early season. This is like it's November, December. You have any worries it doesn't hit that date?
no,
Okay.
no. It's a new
So
year.
that sounds like you have some worries there. This is pretty light. No, you know,
Never.
so- Never. Dill Muss.
Maybe I suck at this, but you guys haven't taken any of my top 8 picks so far. So I'm
Ooh.
very curious what's going on here. Okay, my number 1. I'm gonna get 2 back to back. I'll put my number 1 as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Nice. Good one.
I think that's my highest caliber comic book movie of the year.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna pick up. This is it's the Call of Duty of movies. I'm gonna pick up Fast 10.
Damn
Good
it.
pick. Yeah, that was.
Oh,
my
that was my
one.
next. I did not think anyone would be going for Fast 10 round. I didn't think Dylan would be
I
going
thought it was
for
safe.
Those movies
yeah.
just rake it in. I was
Oh,
looking at those
yeah.
numbers. I'm like, oh, I like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I like the
That's what Vin Diesel
consistency. I like
does.
the up and up. It's the last one or whatever they say that every time. I'm sure.
Last
so
one on
it's
Earth.
Gonna, it's gonna crush.
It's part 1 of the last one. That's what they're doing. So yeah.
Right,
Damn. No, I thought that was safe for a while.
Yeah, me too. Actually.
Yeah. Okay, there you go, off the board. No, that was literally I had that in the barrel next. I'm not sure.
I have
what else
triple
did that.
stars on my big heavy hitters, and that was one of them. So.
Yeah, that was one of mine too. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of triple stars, goes back to me here. I'm gonna have to go with my heart here. I'm gonna go with Spider-Verse 2. I think this one
Oh.
hopefully will hit really hard. And a lot of people love that first one. And yeah, later of the year picks for sure from me this year. But I like to live a
That
little
one's
dangerously.
summer. I think you're safe there. You're picking some I think some risky ones right now. You know.
We'll see.
First Spider-Verse didn't blow the socks off the box office, but
Blew my
that's fair.
socks off.
That's fair.
Mhm. It sure did.
So now it's me, eh? I'm really mad about that fast pick because I thought I had a good solid 1-2 punch there.
Gotta be faster.
I can't. The rules dictate I can't be any faster. Oh man, because this one, I just feel like now the floodgates are gonna start with a lot of like the other list.
How many were we picking total each?
10.
10? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so those last 7 are gonna be some shit picks, but like that's what I like. I like the shit picks. I like when Taylor had to pick Jackass forever. You know,
That's awesome. Yeah.
Puss in
Yeah.
Boots was a low pick for me, but it sure worked out.
it worked out. Yeah. Okay, let's just do it. I had it last year. It got delayed, so I'm just filling my top 2 with what I had before. I'm going Flash. I'm hoping for that Michael Keaton magic. I'm really putting my money on the 60 to 50-year-old crowd for Tom Cruise and Keaton, but that's just my hope that it can do very well. And I think the thing is, I do think it's going to review very well. I think no matter what, I think it will be a good movie with Andy Muschietti. Like, it's chapter 2 not the greatest, but it's chapter 1 great. I liked the other horror movie did, so I think it's going to be at least good. So yeah, Flash, and maybe plays very well in international markets. Maybe, I don't know, people in China are just dying to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. I don't know. So that's my hope. Flash. There you go.
Solid pick. Over to Taylor. 2 picks here. A lot of power.
Right, I get 2. Okay.
Shouldn't have told him. He's just like 4 behind us all when we get to 10. Like, what happened?
I think I'm going to go with Indiana Jones. I think
Okay.
that there'll be
Damn.
a lot there for that.
Damn.
This next one.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Don't fuck up.
I know. I feel like I know one for sure is gonna want this on their list, and the other person maybe might try to steal it. I think I'm
Can't
just gonna
steal it. Oh, I see
well,
what you
like
mean. I
would
see what
want
you
to
mean.
steal
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I think I have to go with it just because I do feel like it's gonna go good because it's just gonna be just a wild movie. I'm gonna put Barbie in there.
Oh,
Wow,
damn it.
okay.
Yeah, that is a good pick. I don't like this. You guys aren't supposed to pick Fast and Barbie yet. I thought these would be sleepers down the line, but oh man. And you know what? I just realized because I have till July. If I don't win the superhero draft, I'm the only person out of the 4 of us that did not win a draft this year. Because Kirk won the video game one, Dylan won MCU, Taylor won the movie one. So like if someone gets cast, I'm fucked. I need to win because that's our last draft of the year in July. So Gaga needs to bring me to the promised land. So damn. Okay. So you took Barbie. Hey.
Barbie's
else?
gone.
What else we got going on? You know what? I'm just gonna pick it. Take the bandit off. I'm gonna go. All right, do I want to take that bandit off now? Fuck it. No, I'm gonna go Aquaman. I'm gonna take Aquaman.
Yeah.
First one did well. It's in that December slot. I probably should have picked that before Flash. I almost forgot about it, but yeah, I just think it could do well. I don't know what. Like, let me go. Well, actually, I don't want to read off what's in December. These guys know it's all in December. They have the same.
You can read them
schedule
off
I
for
do.
me. I wouldn't mind the reminder.
Let's see, like
When there's only however many movies in a year, like, I pretty much wrote down every movie that exists. I feel like so.
yeah, like the
They're all
other
in
movie is
play.
like Wonka in 15th, which like maybe one of us will have to pick. But like after Aquaman's the last movie of the year, and just as Avatar did, Aquaman did that last time when it hit $1 billion. So yeah, I'm happy with that Aquaman. So yeah, I thought Barbie was for sure gonna jump up. I would have, but Taylor picked it very early, so I was surprised. I didn't think anyone would be going for Barbie so early, but I think it's gonna do very well. I think the women audience is gonna just flock over that movie. So me included.
Kirk and Patzer.
All right. I think I'm gonna just take a particular little guy, little me, big me off the board. Ant-Man, Quantumania here.
Nice.
Good pick.
I literally was gonna pick that before I remembered Aquaman, but yeah, it's, I think it's a solid, like, you're getting some numbers there. You know?
Some good juice early on, not getting delayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I get 2 picks here. I mean, I'm going to take the Marvels. That's an easy one. MCU is guaranteed. Captain Marvel hit $1 billion last time.
Think this is hitting $1 billion? Now that you've drafted, we can talk about it.
I think there's a chance for sure. That title is just very easy for the audience to understand. Oh, a new Marvel movie's coming out. It's called The Marvels.
What's it called? The Marvels.
I don't
Yeah.
think the fact that Miss Marvel isn't like the biggest deal in the world is going to hurt this in any way. People will see Brie Larson, they'll get hyped, they'll go to the theater. And summer slot, right, is the
Yeah,
thing.
July.
So
Yeah.
pretty good pocket for it. Okay. Oh, I'm kind of split between two right now. And okay, I don't really know anything about this,
Okay.
but I'm gonna go for it anyway. I feel it's got the Fast 10 smell to it. I'm gonna go with Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Took it from
Good
Taylor.
pick.
I'm surprised Taylor didn't get to it yet. Oh yeah, no, those always produce money. So. Okay.
Yeah, Bumblebee didn't do great, but I feel like the name could be honestly a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot
Kirklin,
of
back
people
to
watch
you.
me and Taylor break down that trailer, so it's gonna be high numbers on that one.
I didn't know this was is this a movie that's out next year? The Pope's Exorcist.
It is.
Well, there you go. I'll remember that in my 9th or 10th slot if I need something.
Pope's Exorcist. Great.
Is
title.
that not the movie we talked about where it's like a doc about a guy who did like 100,000 exorcisms in his life?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But is
We
it a
were
real
crunching
doc, or
numbers
is it
and it
like
didn't make sense.
Well, I don't think it's like a biopic, more
Yeah.
of a biopic.
Yeah, it was like 5,000 in 6 years. Like
And we mathed it out and it's like, that's not possible. That's a lie. Go to the theater to find out how.
Yeah. Time travel. All right, Kirkland.
All right. I'm gonna put my faith in Mr. Baba Yaga himself here. John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I thought you were gonna go Boogeyman.
Yeah, it could be
Boogeyman.
taken two ways. Yeah. Okay.
Solid pick.
So it's
you,
to
thank
me.
you.
Hey? So all the Marvel films are off the table. Half the DC. Actually, there's still one more Marvel film, but I'm gonna leave that. There.
Yeah, a very particular Marvel. film.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one here for a bit to stew. What is the nether? What is?
I didn't even have that on my list of 50 movies.
Me
Like, it's
either.
just-
That's a desperate pick one. Okay, I don't like this being on the list, but fuck it. If I'm picking money wise, let's go with The Little Mermaid. You know, it Disney live action. I feel like they're gonna like to see Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. Like Mulan didn't do the greatest, but that was in COVID time, so that was a lot different. Like before then, like The Lion King made $1 billion, like Jungle Book almost made $1 billion. It's like these movies, they just print them. Like I'm kind of hoping I don't have to see it, but if my girls want to go, I will take them. I'm kind of over the live action Disney movies. I think they all have, not all, I just think they're very meh, but people will go pay to see it because it's a new version of it, right? So Little Mermaid, I'm grossly fine with that pick. So.
Mhm.
Right, it's Russell Crowe. I'm gonna have to see
Oh,
this movie
yeah.
just because of Russell Crowe as the the Pope Exorcist.
100,000 exorcisms. Taylor, you got 2 again. What do you got?
It would have been Transformers next, I imagine, but
I think I am going to sneak in.
Sneak thief.
Sneaky,
Hey,
sneaky,
sneak
sneaky.
thief.
That was a weird sound. Holy shit.
That's a wet one.
I think I'm gonna put in Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem.
okay. There
TMNT.
you go. Yeah, it's a new Turtles movie
It's a
coming
new
out.
movie that's
with
coming out in
Seth Rogen.
2023.
Yeah.
You got
S-Bubs,
another pick there.
oh yeah, you do. S-Bubs, I'm with you. Me and Taylor both liked Aladdin. There's
I
always
like Aladdin too.
Aladdin's
Come on,
fantastic.
we
we're
weren't on the
in there,
review,
too.
so I don't.
I
If
got
you're
my
not on the
tab.
review, I don't know what you think. But no, like there's a few kernels in the Disney ones, but So what his pick is this now from 5 or 6?
Number
The
5.
other one I'm
Number
gonna
5's
go
halfway there.
with, only because like when I was looking through the numbers here for Nolan films, they definitely like low at the start, but then they have a nice uptick, and I think that it may not hit that $1 billion mark, but I think there's a good chance of this at least slapping a good like 500 million like cushion on my thing. I'm gonna go with Oppenheimer. I feel like that's gonna be a nice like safe
Good pick.
I was
Big
curious
film.
who's going to take that one because I really don't know how that's going to do. I could see that being the first Nolan movie that eats it because I just don't know how many people want to go see a movie about the making of that bomb. Like I don't know, especially in the
It's got a
summer.
good cast. Good cast.
It does, but I
Solid
just feel like
cast.
the wrong
Throw
time.
Florence
they
Pugh on the poster. People
Yeah.
will get there.
It's a great cast. I just feel like they should be putting that in Oscar like fall season. I think that's a good fall movie in the middle of the summer when you're seeing like blockbusters and Barbie and like now go watch this serious
Warm
movie about
bomb
It's
movie.
as hot as a nuke out
40
here.
degrees outside.
yeah, like,
It's black and white. Oh, man, where's the color in this thing?
This Nolan's my favorite director. I want to prove me wrong, but to me this might be the first time where he missteps. You go, maybe he won't follow you everywhere. But
Maybe make Inception 2 next. That should be-
yeah, and secretly make an Oppenheimer movie, but like call it Inception 2, you know?
yeah.
Okay, so where do we go here?
I think it's a good pick too. That was my one that I was wrestling with between that and Transformers for my next round. So nice pick.
Yeah, that was my next one.
There's a lot of ones that now I'm in a lot of that, like I'm happy with them, but like what gets me the most juice out of them, you know?
It's all about the juice.
It is all about juice. Well, I'm gonna hope for what I said for Rise Up. I'm gonna pick Blue Beetle. I'm gonna hope because I'm looking at the slot. It's August 18th. There's not too many big movies around it. Like Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. Like these were movies that came out at the end of August and made lots of money. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for here. And the good thing is with this one, I think if it works, they could fold it into the new DCU because it's not really attached. It's just like a solo film. And I think anything that really connects it, I think they'll edit it out. So if it works, like, oh yeah, you loved Jaime Reyes, you loved that Blue Beetle. Well, guess what? He's going to be in James Gunn's. So I think it's one of these that might not, how some people feel, oh, do I want to watch these movies because they don't matter? This is one that could end up mattering because it's going to feel probably very by itself. Even James Gunn has kind of said like, oh, it's its own little adventure. So I think they're setting it up for if this does well, we could keep it. And like I said, that is a big Hispanic audience is huge, and there's not been a Hispanic superhero that's like live action like that. Like what you got, what's his name in the Ant-Man movies that just dialogues them all, you know, like there's not many. That's been a big thing. So the Cobra Kai audience, there you go. Carl will be happy with that. So yeah, Blue Beetle, I'll blue it up.
Blew it up. Good pick. All right. I'm gonna take us to the water here, gentlemen. I'm gonna go with a big ass shark here. The Meg 2. The Meg 1 blew my mind. I did not know that did like over over half
Wow,
a billion
fuck.
dollars.
$500
That
million.
is insane to me how many people saw that movie, and I was one of them. I was in theaters. Shay, big Shark Week fan, as I've said
Was she a big fan
before.
of that movie?
I feel like she enjoyed it for what it was. She didn't love it by any means, but I hope I'm gonna love this for the box office numbers. So yeah, the Meg 2.
Did
The
you have
trench.
Did you have that already, or did S Bubs put that idea in your head when you put in the comments there?
No one going for the Meg 2. I did not see that actually.
Okay, good. Just
so,
checking.
yeah.
It was odd timing. It was, but I'll trust you.
He actually made my list. I gave him a bunch of Shudder gift cards, so he never has to pay
Yeah.
for a Shudder subscription.
Fucking Shutter gift cards.
I love that. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about my next round here. I have 2 picks. So I'll be the guy to pick up Shazam. The first one did pretty well. So sure, why not?
Mhm.
Pick it up.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
I mean, I don't care about the movie at all, so I'm
Yeah.
not. It's not like a passion pick by any means. And then I feel like this movie could do quite well. I'm just gonna pick up Disney's Elemental.
Elemental.
Yeah.
Sequel to Eternals.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. All right, Kirk, on your back up. So now we're going around. So Dylan started
Back
his,
at it
that was your
again.
6th pick, right? So now we're in our
Yes.
back half. This is when we're gonna get some grimy picks. I think this is when we're getting to the bottom.
I
Not
still
bottom
got
of
a
the
little
barrel
bit of
yet, but-
spice. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. I feel like there's a few more good ones here.
All right. Speaking of spice,
All right.
I'm gonna pick a third movie of its series, starring 2 very attractive gentlemen. I'm going Creed 3 here, big boxing movie.
Yeah, you are.
Creed 2 didn't blow me away at the box office numbers, but it was still, a respectable amount to just boost my score. And hopefully Creed 3,
You say that like you were like a producer and you were like getting money based on
Didn't
I
how
know
lost
about my
everything
numbers.
because of that movie. Yeah.
That's why he's still here. He could have been out.
Yeah. So Creed 3.
solid pick. That was
you.
I think my second pick up here.
So it's me now, eh?
It
It
is.
sure is.
How are you following up Blue Beetle?
I don't know how this is gonna. Now, this is one I don't like picking near the back end because you never know, and I don't know how this is gonna do because I just don't know where the audience is, and I'm going in blind because I didn't even do homework. I didn't even look at what the last one did. I know that the franchise started to go downwards. I feel like this is my most risky pick yet, but I'm hoping it pays off. I don't know if I'm talking myself out.
Don't
of
back
it now.
out.
Hang
Don't
on.
back
Let me
out.
do one last Google. Let me do. I want to see
Jump,
how. I want to see how bad a hit I could take if it does bad.
It's like minus $100,000 in the
You
box.
click on it, it just says don't even think about it, the box office.
Don't think about it, Travis.
Okay, you know what? Everyone made a big deal about part 2 being so much lower.
You're taking it.
Yeah, but you know what? For so much lower, a box office of 658 million, I'll take that so much lower. I'm going to take The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. You know, you got my girl Hunter Schafer in there. I don't give a fuck about these Hunger Games movies at all, but I'll watch one for her and I'll pick it for the box office. So, Superbad Mike, you said that. Yeah, that's my worries. I just feel like people could see Hunger Games and not give a shit about it. And that could really be it. I could see this movie bombing, but I'm just...
It's a good pick. That
I'm
was
just
my next.
hoping.
Yeah, that was my next one.
Okay, yeah, I'm just hoping it's a real wild card one, but maybe I could be laughing, but this could also just be this generation saying like, because a lot of those people grew up, so like maybe it's nostalgia, or maybe like I'm growing out of that now. We'll find out. So,
Interesting pick. Wasn't even on my list, but I also just have a bad memory of finishing off that series. But
yeah,
you did the numbers game, so I respect it.
Taylor Field, another double here.
That's a good pick. That was
appreciate the chat
mine.
trying to help us all out.
Yeah.
We all got every movie coming out. Don't worry. Don't worry. We've all seen Craven Superbad, Mike. I think it's just the
Nobody's craving for
We may have been alluding to that earlier.
yeah. I think Morbius last year was a big when it didn't even crack 200 million, and I feel like more people know who Morbius is than Craven. So Taylor's singing about it right now. He's like, "But Aaron Taylor Johnson, man, I love ATG or ATJ."
Doesn't even know the acronym. I love him. I don't know his acronym, but I still love him.
Yeah, I dropped America's Got Talent. That's what I was dropping there.
Oh, he's hitting the Google here.
I have lost a few picks here. Not gonna lie.
Me too, Taylor. I lost my Super Mario pick.
Yeah, we all lost one.
I have. I got a few that I would go with, but fuck, these original ones just did fucking terrible. So it's not. It's not like optimal chances for picking them.
But if they have sequels, they couldn't have done that terrible then. What do you mean?
You'd be surprised.
All of these,
I'm looking at some of these numbers, and they're not.
they're in
not
the
very
red.
optimal. Yeah, they're in the red, and they're still pumping out like
Hey, no,
4 sequels.
they're not in the Reddit. Their budget could be super low. So
I
if they're-
guess.
Yeah,
but,
that's not
yeah.
part of this, right? We're not factoring budget versus
no.
profit,
No.
right? It's
It's
just
true, but their
But I get
their
Taylor's
box
point that-
office earnings.
I get Taylor's point though that there could be a sequel and let's say it only makes 60 million, but if their budget was 5 million, that's why they
Yeah.
keep making them. But for us, that doesn't help us because we don't care about the budget; we just care about the end result. So
I think I got a few that none of you guys are gonna pick, so I think I can save them for later on. But I
Travis
think,
thought that too about some
Yeah, I
heavy
did,
hitters.
yeah.
but Mario, yeah.
no,
I would say
Mario.
don't risk it, man. Like we all looked at the same list of
There's
movies coming
no
out
way
this
you
year.
guys are picking these ones for sure.
Okay.
That being
next
said,
pick.
my next pick, I'm gonna go with the Haunted Mansion. I think this is like a safe one. It'd be fun family movie, so I'll lock it in there.
You're right. That was not on my list.
Yeah,
You got me.
Is this a real movie? The
I
No
trust
idea.
that Bob that it is.
I trust S Bubs. It seems too
Yeah.
real.
S-Pubs have been known to troll though, so
That's true.
you never know.
Notorious troller. He plays Fortnite, so
I'll get a little crazy with this. I'm gonna go Gran Turismo. We got Orlando Bloom.
What?
We got
That is
David
very
Harbour in here.
wild.
Wait,
This is
Orlando
Put that
Bloom's in
seatbelt
that
on.
movie?
It says Orlando
It's-
Bloom's in the cast, so I'm
step
sold
on
with that.
land once every
Orlando.
decade, Taylor.
Yeah, that
We
he's
all know
coming back.
Orlando's in a movie. Instant 1 billion. He's huge.
We'll see
What
how
did
that's going.
LFIC? Over $1 billion.
$1 billion.
It's directed by Neil Blomkamp, so people love him.
Yeah, his
Oh.
career's sure gone downhill from going District 9 to Gran Turismo, but you know. All right, let's take our second ad break before we get to the back half of these picks. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So you know what? Like I said, there's movies that all feel about relatively the same. It's just like, how does one do versus the other, right? And I guess now I just go over like name recognition or not, actors or not. It's very tough, some of these, and I think I get what Taylor's saying, because maybe you were looking at some horror movies that, like, my heart, I want to go there, but overall, box office, maybe not the greatest, so I'm hoping for a surprise hit. The trailer was a surprise hit, but it shouldn't have been, because the man has my heart. I'm taking 65. I'm taking Adam Driver 65. I'm hoping for a breakout. I'm hoping that the same way when they say, from the producers, A Quiet Place, I hope it is the same thing of Quiet Place, where that movie comes out, I was like, oh, this looks cool, and that movie just blows up, and we get 66 and 67 and all those. We get 65 day one, like what they're doing Quiet Place, and Adam Driver's lead them all. So that's my hope, and I just want to have an Adam Driver led movie. So
Wouldn't 65 Day 1 be just the movie 65 because it's the first day 65 million years ago?
I guess, but I was just making a joke because the next Quiet Place movie is called A Quiet Place Day
It's
One.
fair,
That's
it's
why.
fair.
Ruined it, Taylor.
Yeah. Fuck. You know what? No more picks for Taylor. He's out
Oh.
of here. His picks are back on the
Confusing.
board.
Yeah,
I'll
fuck
take
that.
Mario.
Yeah, I'll take Mario.
Over my dead body.
Oh,
Bastard.
what number are we on right now?
You're
For
picking your
picks?
7th right now.
My 7th.
Yeah, super bad, Mike. Such a tragic fall. District 9 so strong, and then well, Taylor, you must have loved that movie. What was that movie with Matt Damon? What was it, like Eclipse?
Elysium. It was okay.
Elysium. You must have.
I take
thought you
Chappie
would-
over that and District 9 at the top.
Yeah, I agree with you.
All right. My next pick
Chappie.
is one that I'm relatively confident none of you have it on your list.
Okay.
I'm banking on a different market for this one, actually. This is a Japanese film.
Ooh.
The first, or maybe not the first, but the film that the filmmaker did before this one of my favorite of all time movies. The box office looked pretty good too worldwide. I'm taking Suzume. I hope I'm saying that right.
Damn it.
Suzume. Yeah, I assume none of you guys had it on there. I'm hoping this is a
Next.
nice sleeper pick that just really blows me away from the box office numbers, because just like the movie quality of What Your Name was just like a 10 out of 10 movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm hoping this one hits for both quality and the numbers wise.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple pictures of this one. Looks pretty awesome. Cool. All right. Another 2 picks for me here. Oh, man. There's like a heart pick, and then there's the mind pick.
Sure is, S-Pups.
Okay. First up, I'll pick up Ghostbusters Afterlife 2.
Oh,
First one did pretty good, I
yeah.
think.
It's close. It's another close to that end of the year mark there.
Is it? What is it? October, hopefully?
It's December, I think 15th or something like that, or 20th.
Shit. Okay.
It's
Well,
close there. But hey,
I
the
picked it.
last
I'll
one
keep
came
it.
out.
I'll keep
Yeah,
it.
oh yeah.
Okay, let me look up the date of this one before I pick it then, just in case. I don't want to get too many of those sketchy ones on my list here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You have a room for a couple sketches, but too many. Then you'll take it down.
Okay, I'll pick up this one. It's September. I don't know anything about this other than the first 3 had decent box office, and I'm gonna pick up the Expendables 4.
Expendable 4. Okay, there you go. Sly leading the team back together.
Sure,
Okay.
I don't know anything about it, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay. Now it's back to Kirkland Patzer. 8.
8, eh? All right. All right. We're really scraping at the barrel here for me.
Still actually quite a few out there, you know.
There is a lot of movies coming out in 2023 that I've not picked yet.
Yeah.
Do I bank on a wild card pick? Do I go a safe pick, which it might not do too well? I'm gonna take I'm gonna take a Trolls movie. I'm gonna take Trollstopia the movie. I feel like that could be a little hidden
Trollstopia.
OP. A lot of families. You know, might be like my Puss in Boots pick. I mean, I had a couple of family movies last year, and those usually bring in the numbers. Kids want to see their movies, so I'm hoping Trolls makes them bring their parents and buy a lot of tickets.
Good. I hope not, but
Interesting.
that
I don't know if that's a good pick or not, so I can't.
We'll
really-
find out, Dylan, next year
Yeah.
when we're doing this cast.
We'll find out. All right. In honor of my lovely ladies, I'm going to be picking Paw Patrol: The Mighty Movie. The first
I was in
Paw-
between that and the other one. I wasn't sure how the other one did.
The first Paw Patrol did about 144 million, and that was in COVID times too. And that was like, I actually think Kelowna we didn't even get it. I think we had to wait for VOD. And I think this one for you guys, the Mighty Movie, they have like superhero identities because there's the Mighty Pups. So I think that's what this is going to be about. So they get to be the
Alright.
Paw Patrol sequel, hit show, superheroes. I think you have lots of box office potential. So I'm going Paw Patrol: The Mighty Movie. So I'm taking.
Solid.
Okay, well Taylor's busy, so he doesn't get a pick anymore. So.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose your timing is actually immaculate because I am gonna put Strays. as
Really?
my pick. Oh yeah.
Wow.
I think it'll probably do around like a Sausage Party level, and it'll have a nice cushion of like a few
What
hundred,
did Sausage Party make?
143 million.
$10,000.
Yeah.
So
Wow. I think that movie's gonna eat it. No,
I think,
no
I think
offense,
everyone's craving a dog movie like this. So
but I don't think so. I
uh
don't think so. I don't know what they made that for.
yeah, we're at 8. Okay, so I gotta pick my 9.
Why are you laughing at, Kirkland?
I don't know why they made that movie for.
Well,
This is entertainment, man.
have you guys seen the trailer for Strays?
It's
I
like
read the
Will Ferrell and
synopsis.
stuff, right? They're like
Jamie
Yeah,
Foxx.
It's just like a rated R dog movie where they're being inappropriate.
Oh, I didn't know it was rated R. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, but and it's not anime dogs.
See,
It's like
the interest bumped up for Dylan there because it's rated R.
No, the interest because like rated R, that means less and less people have the opportunity to go and send
Yeah.
a person.
This is
to
my
see it.
Northman pick this year, so
that's
Northman
fair.
equivalent.
We all need a bomber.
You're really riding or dying with the Northmen, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, da, 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 da. My next pick. You know what? I don't know how it's gonna do, but I'm just. None of you picked it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, none of you did. I'm just gonna put it in my list. I'm just gonna pick Renfeld.
Okay.
I feel like that could be a sleeper fun one that many people will be very excited for. So
Sleep for fun one.
Super fun one. That's solid. Yeah, that'll be good.
Okay, let me just confirm one last thing here, box office wise.
That's right.
I know it's not my last pick, but it's one of these that like same thing. I want to see how. Yeah, it's one of those that I did very well for the budget, but like, is it gonna do well for my list? I don't know. Let me take a look here. What else is coming out around the time? I don't know. Nah, if I don't pick it later on, I will reveal. I just don't like when it's around right now. One of my picks, but I don't know. I'll pick it. I'm gonna pick. Do it. I can't because I feel it's on a very close date as one of my other movies. So I just feel like, is it that thing where you're just like, could I be getting better potential elsewhere, or is it just like, well, if this one does bad, you do good here, or what if they both do like? It's tough, but I will go. I'll go Scream 6. I don't feel good about it, but because it's on the same day as 65, and the first one only made 100, or the last one made 140 million. But when you look at the budgets, because it's 24 million, so like, you know what? For them, great profit. For me, I don't know, but yeah, I'll take.
At this point, 140. If you can hit that again, that's pretty solid for number 9.
So that's what I'm going with. So.
Bastard,
Always
that
good
was
to
my
have
next one.
good solid like this will absolutely be releasing this year kind of one as well. At
True.
this point.
Yeah.
So we fall back to me again, eh? I was gonna pick Scream 6. So good pick there, Travis. So I'm gonna go with a big title for a big movie that I hope is big. This movie, you guys might laugh at me when you hear me pick it, but every time that I've been getting trailers for this movie as of late, whole crowd just really laughing, really having a good time, and I'm hoping all those people unite, buy tickets for the movie, and the box office just
Strays.
explodes. I'm going Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves.
I respect that pick.
I think the
too.
fact that it's got like the legit Dungeons and Dragons title as well just helps the movie a lot. It's not some like offshoot where it's just Honor Among Thieves going off of like Dungeons and Dragon ideas. I think the fact that it's like the straight name, I think that's gonna help it. You know, we'll see this
I
time
think it's
next
gonna
year.
eat shit.
I know you do. That's why I had to not listen to you,
I
the
think it
devil
could do
on my shoulder.
okay. I get the visuals, like the CGI and stuff, look awesome. So I feel like a lot of people could just be, not expecting a great story, but they just want like a fun fantasy adventure. How many other movies coming out this year are that? Not very many. So I feel like it could be a niche people are looking for. So
I found what someone predicted the domestic earnings will be for that movie. You want to know what it is?
Okay.
What?
who's this
97
someone?
million.
Nice.
Yeah, what's
Pretty
your
solid.
source?
IMDb.
Reddit.
Are you sure
Some
that's
guy
just
on
not like
Reddit.
the but like what is what IMDb?
Domestic. This guy wrote this list because I'm just going through it. I'm trying to scoop up
Okay,
like
so
box
just some
office
random user on
on
Yeah,
IMDb.
IMDb
97 domestic and worldwide 315 million. So that's pretty
Worldwide,
good.
That'd be pretty
It's not
good.
bad.
Yeah. That's the only thing, you never know worldwide. Maybe that helps and stuff like that. But I
I agree
the
with
chat.
S-Bub's comment
Yeah.
there, though. Where it's either going to be a big surprise or just a massive flop. And that's what makes this an interesting late pick.
It's just tough for me because, like I said, that one I'm so curious to see how it does. But like I said, because you get Creed 3 1 week, 65s and Scream 6 the other one, and then Shazam, and then John Wick Chapter 4, and then Dungeons and Dragon is next, and then it's Mario. Like I just feel like Dungeons and Dragon is like in the middle of so much stuff where people might be like, oh, I just saw a bunch of movies and I'm seeing Mario next week, but hey, I don't
Yeah.
hope for you it works. I hope for you it does just eat it, and I can be right and you lose. But we'll
And
see.
Superbad Mike mentioned in the chat there, going to pull that Critical Role crowd, Vox Machina. I'm going to keep promoting that show. People go watch it. It's going out weekly right now. So
Well, if
fantastic.
they're pulling in the same crowd that one's pulling in, then it's definitely not going to do well because Kirkland's the only person in the world I've heard mention the show.
I'm getting
so-
royalties from it.
Yeah, I heard about your Pats or code
Yeah.
on the Weekly Geek. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Me. Mr. Me. Oh wait, no, it's Dylan now.
That's-
Isn't it?
I was gonna see what you were gonna pick. I'm like, this could be some good info.
Sorry, I
from
forgot. To
Just
Yeah,
let
these
him
are my
go.
final two picks here.
Oh, final two.
Okay,
Here we
so I was considering picking this one last round, but no one scooped it up, which probably not a great sign. But I'm gonna take it. This is my heart pick. I don't think it's gonna do amazing, but I think there's a chance it could, and I'm gonna play on that chance. And that is Next Goal Wins. Taika's movies haven't been, other than Thor, obviously, which is a different thing, haven't
Yeah.
done amazingly. But I think the fact that this seems like a big comedy movie could be like a thing where Thor's so funny, I want to go see this. There's a lot of big names in it as well, so I think there's a chance. But I was looking at the box office for Jojo Rabbit, and it was just pitiful, which is it's such a great movie. Like it should have done a lot better than it did, but I get it. He makes very niche movies, so it's like a soccer movie, right? And
Yeah.
and a lot of
It's
soccer
Fassbender
fans
who
out
leads
there.
a
So
team that sucks and has to.
people love Ted Lasso right now. Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Now I think this is a good pick. It's a good pick.
There you go.
I don't know. I have no idea what to do for my last pick. I have 11 things on my list still.
Get wild. Pick the one you think's going to do the worst. Make it.
That I
Coming
think
from
is
your
gonna do the
competition.
worst. I'm not picking. I'm not picking Craven. Okay.
I'm gonna laugh if we pick 40 movies and no one picks Craven. Like, even though it's a Marvel movie, we're just so like scared of it because what they've done.
Okay. I want to pick like a weirdo horror movie.
Like
Kind
Dylan
of.
picks Next Goal Wins, and he's not gonna pick. Not Yeah.
I don't like the release date of Wonka. I don't want to risk that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another one of these. That would be a safe pick, but I kind of do want to not go safe here.
Oh.
This one's cheesy. I won't even go there. Fuck.
What were
This
you
is
looking
really
at?
tricky. I know S-Bubs just wrote this, but I was already kind of leaning this way beforehand. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick up Saw.
Saw 10.
Saw 10. So I have
Saw
Fast
X.
10 and Saw 10 on my list, and that's a fun duo to have. So will this do great? Probably not, but I really have I'm just hoping here. I'm just hoping. I know I'll see it. I know the GeekVerse community.
Yep.
Well, maybe 3 or 4 people will see it. Hopefully we all love it. We see it multiple times. That's what I'm pulling for right now.
Tobin Bell's back,
Tobin Bell, the legend.
But legitimately, maybe people seeing him actually back in a movie, not like a photo of him, not like just his voice.
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
not
look,
Jigsaw. It's not Spiral. Like it's
Yeah.
just called Saw again. That could help.
Yeah, it's
potentially.
called Saw with him back in the role. Like I
Mhm.
think that's the best shot you can give it at being successful.
Yeah, definitely. So I get another heart pick at the end there. That was good. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Back to Kirkland.
So is this Kirkland's
Back to
last pick
Kirkland.
then?
It
You're right.
is, yeah.
God damn.
My final pick. I'm gonna follow Dylan here with a horror pick. A little maybe spooky way to end it off. I'm also gonna follow Dylan here because I saw someone just mention what I was gonna pick, and I was gonna pick it before they put it in there. But Evil Dead Rise
Damn
is
it.
my pick.
Mike!
We're doing the retro right now. Yeah. Super bad, Mike. Thanks for the recommendation. No, I was debating Saw 10 or Evil Dead Rise. Didn't really plan for it to be a horror movie to round it out, but that was the one that was grasping out at me. And God, such a terrifying poster that movie has with the mom there. That's gonna be a
That
freaky
trailer's
adventure.
fucking scary, man.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that movie to be in the theaters again. Like, they're watching the remake, which you'll see Dylan when we get there in retro. Watching the remake in theaters was it was great, but it was brutal. And Emily hated me because she did not want to see that. And her head was buried in my arm like the entire movie. It's, oh God. But yeah, it did do pretty well. So, okay, so now we're at that part now where it's like we're looking at like the 50 to 60, 100 million movies and stuff like that. And you know what? I was just memeing about it, but fuck it. I'll bring them along for the ride. I'm gonna pick Craven because I feel like it has to at least because Morbius still made. Now here's my problem. Maybe I picked Morbius too high last time. It was like in the 7th or 6th slot, but like as a 10 slot, I feel happy enough that can at least maybe crack me 100 million. They're still gonna have the Marvel tag on there. These fuckers are gonna put Spider-Man shit in the trailers and edit them out later on. Maybe people have learned, so maybe that's gonna screw me in the end. Maybe they'll be like the same way. Well, I guess Michael Keaton didn't help Morbius, so I don't know. But I feel like Evil Dead's gone. That was probably be my next one. So yeah, I'll go with Craven. Maybe Aaron Taylor Johnson has a bigger fan base than I know, so I'll pick the thing I hate, Sony's Craven, as my last pick.
It's a decent pick. I like it.
Alrighty. My last pick will be none other than John Wick 4.
Nope.
No, am I not allowed for that one?
I beat you to it.
Oh, you picked it? I fucking totally glazed over that.
I feel like one of us would have taken if John Wick 4 was going 10th.
I was like, man, no one picked John Wick 4 yet. I fucking got this. This is great.
No, that was pretty
take-
high on my list.
I'll take Mario.
Mid
Yeah.
high.
yeah, Kirkland will trade you
Trade Mario for John Wick.
Wick.
If you wanted that badly, Taylor, I'll let it go.
I appreciate that, Kirkland. All right. Well, this is fitting then because I am going to die on the hill of Insidious Chapter 4.
Yeah.
That's when you were talking about earlier, right? That the box
Oh,
office. Not
fuck
like,
yeah, I was.
Because I was looking at that, The Nun, and I was like, actually, those movies don't do like. It's because those movies are so cheap. That's why they do well. But yeah.
There's another Nun coming out this year too. Right?
Yeah, The
Yeah,
Nun
but I
too.
wasn't putting my last pick on that.
You're smarter to pick Insidious over. The Nun.
Patrick Wilson's Insidious 3. Yeah, man, he is all over that series now.
Right. Well, right as it's Espos is making fun of that title, right? Because it's just Insidious 5. It's not Insidious 3.
No, I think it has a title. I think it's like
Okay.
Into the Dark or something.
Fear the Dark.
That's the one.
Patrick Wilson's Insidious.
It's the dark. Bring on the darkness. See, I guess I've missed the darkness thing. Like no one picked the Boogeyman. I was surprised that someone might after that trailer, but
Yeah.
Yeah. It was down there. My other ones. What about Wish? Like that's just a Disney Pixar thing, right? Like that could be
Yeah,
decent.
it was just so back end again. It just because that's what screwed me last year with Mario and Flash. Because Flash was a November movie and Mario was December. So Aquaman I felt confident on. That's why the other one I thought about Wonka, but same thing. I don't know. I don't. Your Ghostbuster ones is risky too. But even my Aquaman. The only reason I think Aquaman's safe is just because they want to get those fucking DC movies out of the way.
Truthfully, I had no idea about Ghostbusters. I did not look at its release date and stuff. So that's
fair.
Part of it.
All right, so we got the list here. So thank you very much, Dylan, for writing this all up. Taylor Field, the winner of last year. Do you want to read your top 10 or just your 10 draft picks for the 2023 movie draft?
Love to. My list, number 1, Super Mario Bros. The movie. Number 2, Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. Number 3, Barbie. Number 4, TMNT, Mutant Mayhem. Number 5, Oppenheimer. Number 6, The Haunted Mansion. Number 7, Gran Turismo. Number 8, Strays. Number 9, Rhinefield. And number 10, Insidious, Fear the Dark.
No, read its full title, Taylor. That's not its full title.
Number 10, Insidious, 3, The Dark Realm. I'm going...
No. You forgot the first
Patrick
part,
Wilson's.
Too. Yeah.
Oh, Patrick Wilson's...
That's Buzz. It's one of my favorites you've done so far. That's because it just reminds me of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Patrick Wilson's, yeah. Okay, my top 10 movies. Yeah, you got Big Dan Lin's Haunted Mansion as well. You got all the big ones. Big Dan Lin will live on because he'll be in our draft. Thank God. We can talk about him again. He'll live on. Live her alone. Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, The Flash, Aquaman 2, The Little Mermaid, Blue Beetle, Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
That's a mouthful.
Is that actually what it's called? You said that?
it is.
I didn't fact check you. On my list, I just wrote Hunger Games, The Ballad of Something. I never fact checked.
What happened to
Hunter
the font
Shavers,
there?
The Hunger Games.
Well, I
That's
made
smaller.
it when I had it zoomed out. It did actually fit on one line, but then I zoomed in a little bit, and then it is so fucking long that it's spilled on the 2 lines.
That's why this movie's gonna fucking bomb. Because people are like, what is this? What's this movie?
Doesn't fit on the
Terrible
movie
title.
poster even.
This is like Birds of Prey, the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn all over again.
Yeah.
God. 65, Paw Patrol, the Mighty Movie, Scream 6, and Craven the Hunter. Oh no, Craven.
Tasty list.
Purple
All right.
Panther.
Starting from the top, I got Dune Part 2. Number 2, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Number 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Number 4, John Wick Chapter 4. Number 5, The Meg 2, The Trench. Number 6, Creed 3. Number 7, Suzumi. Number 8, Trolls Topia. Number 9, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. And number 10, Evil Dead Rise.
Number
Is it
10.
actually The Meg 2, The Trench?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I
It
think
is.
that's what it's.
God, I hate that.
That's where the Meg
title so
hides,
much.
Dylan. In the
Well, I was gonna
trench.
say, is it not the Meg the Trench? It's the Meg 2 the Trench.
It's
I
the
think
Meg
so.
2, The Trench.
That's a
That's that on
terrible
first showing.
title.
Patrick Wilson.
It's better than the Hunger Games title.
Yeah, it's shorter. So I'll give you that. I didn't know it's a better one though. Dylan is The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. You ever get around
What
to
a
seeing
classic.
that one?
I never did. But I think about it
Right.
every day.
And finally, Dylan Muss.
Yeah, I've got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Fast 10, The Marvels, Transformers, Rise of the Beasts, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Elemental, Ghostbusters Afterlife 2, The Expendables 4, Next Goal Wins, and Saw 10.
Look at that. I'm very excited to see how this all shakes out.
Honestly, like overall with this whole list, I kind of would put my money down on your list there, Dylan. I think you got a
like it?
really strong list.
It's not bad.
If
I'm happy with
Ghostbusters does come out, you're really good there. The biggest question mark I have on your list is the Marvel, because I'm just so curious how that's going to do, not in between Infinity War and Endgame, because I feel like that had a lot of that hype with that one.
That's a
but
good point. Yeah.
But we haven't even got a first trailer. We could get
Yeah,
a first
that
trailer
could
that just
sell
looks
it for
fucking
sure.
awesome. So that's why it's just such a anomaly right now.
I feel like the bottom 3 for Dylan has me a little concerned. Expendables, like it could do.
Hey,
over
check it out. Here,
100,000.
let me fact check this.
Saw
I feel like
10,
next goal wins. That
wins.
could be like a fucking $40,000 movie or something. But
Okay,
40,000.
Kirkland, check this out. The Expendables 1, 270 million. Expendables
Okay.
2,
Yeah.
300 million.
Okay.
oh,
I
shit.
can't find 3, but that's not a
$0.
good sign.
Negative amounts. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's good.
There you go. I didn't know that Ghostbusters is actually Ghostbusters : Firehouse. So there you go. Instead of instead of Ghostbusters.
That's the official name?
I think so. I think
I
for
can't-
showing's wrong.
Am I
but-
being trolled again here? Is this
Well,
like
no.
this Bussing Film Twitter account? Or something?
Remember that? Oh, Hugh Jackman's back, and now months later he is back. But it's good memories. So, all right, let's take our last ad break, and then we'll get into some Dexter news and talk about some Disney movies. Then we'll be right back. And we're back. Superman Mike says it's anyone's game.
Anyone's game.
Sorry. I agree. I think we all have good lists. I don't think there's a
Mhm.
top tier one and stuff like that and everything. So that's a good thing with a lot of good movies coming out. And even then, like I feel like it's not like it's a year where there's like an end game or something coming out where it's like, okay, someone had to get that. Because like I think Taylor
Yeah.
has probably the biggest one with Mario, but never know because it's kids' movies and we don't know how they're for sure going to do. But
Mhm.
one of our patrons, which he had asked this right after Weekly Geek, which is good because we're going to talk about it anyways, but he had asked, what are our thoughts on the Dexter show news? So as always, go to Patreon. You can send in questions for anything and stuff like that. So, yet again, so Showtime, they're doing something where they're combining with Paramount Plus. That's why they did this whole press release, like we're combining, shows this. They literally announced that there's a show called Billions. I'm sure you've heard of that. They're doing spin-offs called Millions and Trillions. Not even a meme. That's what they're
You're
doing.
kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. I just said that.
Was that
and
the
then-
one with The Rock involved? Billions?
No, that was
His
Ballers.
idea.
Ballers. There you go. Yeah. Another big
that's
beat.
what-
Also a spin-off.
That's
Cinematic
what he said about.
universe.
That's what he referred to Black Adam on the Warner Brothers set as Billions, and didn't go that way. But also came in this release. So it was weird because a couple weeks ago it was reported that Showtime was looking at doing a Dexter New Blood season 2, but there was a report that came out and said no, it's canceled. They're doing a Dexter prequel, and everyone was like, "Wow, they were doing a season 2. We didn't even know about this." Well, lo and behold, a bunch of news wrong because in this press release they put out that they are doing a Dexter. Well, I don't know what it's gonna be called, but they're doing a New Blood season 2, following Harrison fighting his Dart passenger. And then they're also doing Dexter Origins, following a young Dexter Morgan in the early days of Miami, Florida. And I'd have to find the quote. It was also also looking at real life serial killer crimes, such as like, I'll hold my thoughts, but all right. And then there's a third show that is being proposed. This one's just in development, so it might not happen, but there's a third show about a prequel of the Trinity Killer as well that's being proposed. And this is all getting kicked off because Dexter New Blood did like extraordinary numbers for them. Like I think it already did good numbers, but I think it did way better than they expected.
Billions.
Yeah, billions, trillions,
Yeah.
gazillions. But like they said, but no, it's just that I think that they kind of underestimated how many people are won that Dexter back. Now the question is, are those numbers still going to be there when it's a non-Michael C. Hall universe and whatnot? So obviously, Dylan Musk, you're a Dexter fan. You joined us for that last episode. So out of these, give us your thoughts on all three of these projects. You got Trinity, you got Origins, and you got New Blood Season 2.
Yeah, so I guess the prequel would be with Michael C. Hall, and they would do. I guess they would obviously wouldn't do de-aging. He still looks good enough that they would just rock it, and he's just doing his thing.
No.
No, that young Michael C. Hall in the original show, that was very questionable in itself.
No, I think this is going to be like Dexter in high school years.
Oh, high
I think.
school.
Yeah. I think that's
Oh
what's
my
going to
God.
be.
Like Harrison's age? Or
Want to see
Yeah.
my drawings?
Yeah, Taylor, like if anyone does not remember, I shared this on Twitter when they used to have Michael C. Hall in the flashbacks play him in high school and he was a 40-year-old man like with the wig. Oh, it was the best.
I can't even remember that.
Oh, I'll bring it up. They should. I would be so down if he came back now just play high schooler.
God.
Fuck, yes. Oh, it's worse than
Okay.
Tobin Bell in the baseball cup. But no,
So the prequel wouldn't be just like a few years before the start of the show, and it would be Michael C. Hall still. So
So, they haven't said this, but my 2 cents, because maybe this will like steer some of the conversation. I think the prequel would have Michael C. Hall narrate, and I think New Blood would have him as a ghost, like Harry. That's how I think they would double dip. I think it would be like reading the journals of Dexter
does he
Morgan.
want to do that?
That
Is the paycheck just enough that he?
the narration for sure would be an easy paycheck, right? He just goes in a booth, records the whole season for a couple days, and done, right? Like,
Yeah.
because like if you don't have his voice on the Origins and you don't have him as a ghost in New Blood, I think New Blood, no pun intended, is like dead in the water. I don't think people are tuned into a Harrison show if you don't have Michael C. Hall as a ghost. I think you need him as a ghost on screen.
Yeah, I mean, we all liked that show, pretty well enough. It is pretty decent. But yeah, my interest in any Dexter content that doesn't involve Michael C. Hall, and even you had two great theories of how they could shoehorn him in, but I'm not really interested in either of those. So yeah, my interest level on all three of these projects is quite low. Obviously, Trinity was one of the great arcs, one of the great villains. Oh, fuck.
Reminds me of Peacemaker for some reason. Just the colors, I think. Oh,
He looks like Ethan Hawke in this picture from fucking Moon.
But this is him. He's supposed to be in high school, and they did the flashbacks.
He looks like he's doing a skit on Movie 43 or something.
oh yeah. Oh my god, it's so bad. Fuck it, just pop a wig on him.
That's amazing. It's like Channing Tatum in Jump Street, where it's like that's not a high school.
Oh my god, early 2000s TV was the best. Oh man, but if they announced Michael C. Hall is back, I would so watch it just for that. Okay. Continue, Dylan.
Oh, we have to get back on track after that. No, I mean, yeah, my interest on this trilogy of things very, very, very low. I could see oh god, the prequel. I don't know who would they cast. I guess that's the thing. I don't even know. I don't think they could cast the best actor in the world. I don't think I'd care.
Michael C. Hall.
Yeah. Well, obviously, yeah, I mentioned that a few minutes ago. I'm down.
What is with Taylor and Vincent? Why do you guys think he looks like Peacemaker? He just
looks like Peacemaker.
He doesn't look like John
He's
Cena
got the color of his shirt and everything, though.
That's all it is, yeah.
See, the thing is, I can't even like come up with a way that they could do any of these things that I would be interested in. And I feel like that's a bad sign. Usually on these podcasts, when we got these topics, I can like riff on something. Oh, this would be a cool idea. They should do this. I got nothing for this. I feel like they're really scratching the bottom of the barrel when it comes to this, and they're doing it at 3 separate barrels at the same time. So I'm not excited for this Dexter expanded universe situation, but a good trailer or two. I would check out an episode or two of each of them, probably just to give it a shot. But yeah, I mean, I think they'd really have to sell me on why this is a good idea, other than it just being a cash grab because New Blood did pretty well. So that's about it for me. Yeah.
I'll go on the other side because I know I'm the only person that's going to watch all 3 of these shows. I'm a sucker for Dexter. I've read the books. I don't think any of these are really a good idea. I think they all sound bad. I don't like the idea of a Dexter prequel where he's like interacting with real life serial killers. It's like, that's not the show.
The show. Gotta get you one more time.
He's gonna haunt me in my dreams tonight. But like, I like it being in like he's inspired by them, but like have some fictional stuff. And it's a weird area, right? Because like, not to put this up again, but like we saw him looking like this. Like it's that Han Solo prequel thing where it's like you have to get someone that looks like Michael C. Hall at the age of 16. And I know that's not what he actually looked like, but to me, here's the bigger thing. Who do you cast as like Harry? You'd imagine his dad would be around, right? And it's not going to be James Remar because James Remar is like a lot older now. You'd have to recast a Deborah. So all that
Throw
is
another wig on him. Too.
I was gonna say
he has like long 70s.
It's like that flashback in Waterboy, if anyone remembers that, with Henry Winkler, and they're like arguing over the football plays. But Yeah, so I think for some reason I think the prequel would have the best shot because the hope is that you get an actor that's really good and people like him as Dexter, and I think you have Michael C. Hall narrating. And I think that has a chance to survive. I think most of these shows would get like one season to be done. I think what would happen is the pilot would get big numbers and would just steadily drop unless it's really good quality. But they have to make sure like this stuff's banging out. And the fact that they're saying we might have 3 Dexter shows to me doesn't scream that they're going to be banging out quality, you know? And even as someone that really loved what they did with New Blood and gave us a better ending, even the end of that season felt rushed. And especially now when they're talking about this fucking second season, it's like, even if you're going to kill him off, we could have just like spread it out another year. And I think that's the biggest mistake. I don't think Michael C. Hall wanted to keep doing Dexter, but if he at any point even wanted to, then they made a big mistake killing him off because everyone would have just took a Dexter season 2 New Blood with him and been happy. So that was a mistake. Origins, I think, is the best chance. New Blood is dead in the water unless you don't have Michael C. Hall, because at least they can advertise it. They can make it seem like he's still in the show. And again, you talk about like that show. The whole finale was he turn against his dad because he's not a killer. He's not going to be a killer. And now the synopsis of the show is he's fighting with his dark passenger. What? So now it makes it feel like that finale is kind of pointless. Like he wanted his dad to turn himself in, and now this guy's thinking about like that was the point. Even though it was rushed, like that was the point. Harrison was supposed to like not want to feel like that, and that's why Michael C. Hall would let him kill him so he could go off. But I guarantee you they're going to be like, after I shot my dad, I started feeling things again. So that's I don't think the actor's strong enough. I think you'd only survive if Michael C. Hall's in every episode. 15 to 20 minutes as a ghost. And then thirdly, the Trinity one, I think that only works if you're like, this is a limited 6-episode miniseries. I think that would be something like people like, okay. But I think the same thing, people tuned into or they like that character because John Lithgow, and unless you're gonna do this with John Lithgow and him as like a young Trinity killer, I don't think that works either. I think that works even less so than Dexter because he's just like a terrible villain character who like he holds his family at hostage and he kills young women. He kills kids. Like one of his victims is he gets kids and puts them in pavement. It's like that's where the only way that could work. And I guess someone's gonna throw Dahmer in my face. That's the other reason too. They're probably doing these shows because Dahmer was a massive hit for Netflix. So I get it. That's a little bit different because it's a real life person. It's like a biography in a sense. So I don't think any of these are really a good idea. And I think that they're just kind of shoehorned with, well, you killed him and you're kind of screwed. But I guess they'll try, and I'll check them all out. I love Dexter, and if I can get any Michael C. Hall, I'd be down, whether it's narration and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know I know what they're thinking because like big ratings, we want to push shows, but just like then they, like I said, just make sure they got some really good writers and crew involved. That like, okay, I don't know how I feel about Dexter prequel, but this show alone is actually really well written, so I'll stay on board, or even the New Blood with Harrison. But no,
Yeah.
Kirkland.
Yeah, you guys brought up a lot of good points. Personally, I don't think any of these sound like great ideas. Like you guys said, I do understand why they're wanting to do it, just because of the success of New Blood. Because for the prequel series, it would be weird to me, like if he isn't like really young, it would be weird to me that you wouldn't be seeing like characters that we saw in like the first season. And I'm not saying like the people he worked with, but just like his family, like Deb, or like his father, because like those people have been around basically his whole life. So that would just be really weird if it feels like completely different people, if they're supposed to be like obviously the same in like a prequel sense. And then for the Trinity killer thing, I liked what you pitched there, Travis. I feel like that would be the best success, and I feel like surface level I'd be like, well, why would they be doing a Trinity centered, I don't know, story or something like that? But people also just love their serial killer stories and like movies and just anything about that. So like I still think that it would have a fighting chance. Me personally, I don't think I would be too intrigued, but I feel like I was also
Oh my
God. That scared the hell out of me. That just popped right up. For the audio listeners, Travis has what the hell happened there? You have Dexter, young Dexter, teenage Dexter with the wig on behind you. Very
Nothing to see
terrifying.
here. It's completely regular.
Look at him looking over my shoulder like that.
He's your dark passenger right now.
He's listening intently what you're saying, Kirkland.
Where was I? The Trinity. Yeah, people like their horror movie stuff. Oh yeah, so I feel like when New Blood was coming out, I wasn't even like the most pumped for it until I think I saw that trailer, and then it was like, okay, I guess I'll check it out. And then the pilot was really where I was sold. So for all these projects, they could go that route for sure. That it's like, this is stupid. Why is this happening? And then I get into that pilot, and it is amazing. But like, I think best case scenario, it's like tough for me to see it going multiple seasons on any of these projects, though. Like kind of what you said there, Travis. So yeah, it is bizarre. And then for I guess the last one I didn't touch upon was the New Blood second season or spin-off season with Harrison. And yeah, I agree with you. It would be very, it would feel like it's missing something very major. I think if Michael C. Hall isn't like a part of it at all, where he's just not in it, I think it would be one that you would just like very obviously see like the number dip of just not having Michael C. Hall, even just like starting from the first episode. And I think the first episode would be the biggest out of it, but yeah, it would definitely be a drop off. But yeah.
And like even as a ghost, it's such a cop out. Like Harry can be his ghost because like he grew up with Harry and you knew him for like over a decade. Where like what he was around Dexter for I don't know a couple weeks, and then what he's gonna be like his like dark pastor ghost. It's such like a cop out, but I just feel like that's their one way of doing it. So, Mr. Field.
Yeah, it's touchy because I feel like they wanted to repair this final season that they did. So you bring back Dexter, you get everything going the way it's supposed to. Old feelings, flare up with the viewership, just really enjoying what we're getting in the show. But you use this as a closing point for what you thought was the closing point prior. What's up?
I don't know. I'm still laughing at Dexter.
Oh yeah. I do think though that just to kind of go with a Harrison show definitely is unfortunate. Like there's nothing there pulling me in. Really nothing. Would I still watch the podcast? Absolutely. Now, if you get because like I feel like his story was definitely concluded as best and as much as it could be with what they did in that New Blood season. So if they did another season and they had Michael C. Hall come back as the Dark Pastor, the Ghost, or whatnot, I feel like, okay, this is just opening up a can of worms. We're going to be getting probably at least another 2 seasons with Harrison, and it's too much. I don't need to see multiple, a few. I don't need to, well, it's starting up something. It would probably get canceled, but I feel like, okay, if they're starting this up, then that's what their intention is. We're going to be running this with multiple seasons, and I just think that is too bold. I don't think that there's enough steam in that engine to go with.
Could they get some? Sorry to cut. Like, could they get some juice out of him going back to Miami and interacting with characters from the original series? Is that enough?
There's just Batista to interact with. Like everyone else is dead.
Yeah, I guess so.
Guerrero's dead. Dokes is dead. Deborah's dead. Trinity's dead. Like they're all dead. And
Harrison just meets a ghost Dokes.
Surprise, motherfucker.
What if Hannah didn't actually die? What if that's a twist that they do?
I guess, yeah, she didn't.
That's
She
a
faked her
stretch.
cancer death and whatnot, so you could see her. But if not, then she's dead. Yeah.
What if they do like a prequel kind of thing with him and Hannah?
Yikes.
No, because then that would deem he's not killing anybody, right? And then I guess it's just Hannah killing people.
Sure, I'm down for that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't think they would. I think they'd go moving forward, even though I don't like any of these ideas. Like, there's not many ideas where I'm like, yeah, this is bold.
A young Dexter series. I'm just, I don't know. I feel like we already got to kind of like pick away at that, and I feel like that's kind of what we got to see with Harrison in this show, where he was going to high school like briefly, and we got to see him like stir in the pot a little bit. So I don't need to see Dexter being a teenager, figuring out his wig and stuff like that. So. As far as it goes for a Trinity prequel, I would very much be interested in seeing that. I think there was a lot more that we could have explored with that villain, just how like fucked up he was, and just the way Dexter kind of labeled it, like this guy, he's got a family, he hides in plain sight, and he's like killing and stuff like that. Like, I think when you have a serial killer like this, and yes, he's not based on a real serial killer, but he's a serial killer, and the show has given him a ritual to follow through with. I think that's like there's an interesting enticement there for the viewership to just kind of see like, okay, more of his lifestyle and what he's doing, and just that pre-Dexter kind of thing, like cops trying to find him. Maybe you get Dokes in there trying to figure out this guy, like, oh, there's some weird
Dokes.
shit going on.
Dokes,
Yeah.
no, Dokes would not be.
He
in
survived the explosion.
Well, this is pre-explosion, so
It's a pre-explosion, so he's got a wig on to show that he's younger.
full head of hair on Dokes. Yeah.
there. Good. Oh, there you go. That's our thoughts on Dexter. So yeah, we'll see. There'll be trailers. We'll talk about them. We'll see if all of them go to production or whatnot. I predict not all of them will, but we'll see. So then finally, Disney, they announced some stuff because they're having a bad quarter. They lost, I think it was like 2.4 million subs in Disney Plus. And then they had to lay off like 7,000 people because, of course, yeah, they got to lay off those people and they can't take a hit on their dollar, but that's all right. So then they announced, because I think they've just announced these because they looked at their movies like, hey, what movies made $1 billion? What can we do sequels to? So they announced a Frozen 3, which I thought was inevitable. I'm surprised it took so long. They announced Zootopia 2, which I had watched it recently because that show came out that I looked at. I was surprised. That was $1 billion movie as well, Zootopia. And we're getting our third goodbye with Toy Story 5, I guess, because, you know, Toy Story 3 ended, and like, well, that was really Andy's ending, so we gotta end at Woody's story, and they do Toy Story 4. That's Woody's ending. So now, like, who else's ending is it gonna be? Because it's sure not gonna be Buzz's ending, because he can't carry a film, because his film fucking bombed last year. So I really don't know what they're. I get it because it's a big brand. I just don't know what else there is to scrape there. And I love Toy Story. I got my. Well, you can't see him right now. 'Cause Michael's here with me right now. But I do have my, you know, my very expensive, authentic replicas and everything. That's some of my favorite stuff. But sometimes enough is enough. But I get it of like a business. Zootopia, I think, is smart because I think it's really popular one that people like, and I feel like that's a world I want more of those animals and done well. And I like the cast. And Frozen 3 again, both of them. Or the last one was $1 billion, and it did well, and kids love that. I think they should just do them quicker before kids grow up. You know, like now my daughters who used to Frozen was their favorite thing. They don't ask for Frozen every day anymore. You know, they ask for Bluey or they ask for something. They're not asking about Frozen anymore, and that's how quickly. And like one's 5 and one's 3. That's how quickly it can happen. It's like just a year and a half is on to the next thing. And I'm sure we'll go see it and they'll want to see it. But the thing is, animation, it takes a little longer. So this could be another 2 to 3 years. And oh god, like Gwen could be like 8, and Logan be like 5. And it's just like there'd be a point where they don't. Maybe they're interested but not as interested. So
They're gonna be like me as a kid, where I watched the original movie and then just never watched anything else ever and
Exactly.
forgot about those things.
Yeah, so I don't know if these are all like $1 billion movies like they're wanting to be, but I don't know. I'm excited the most for Zootopia, and I know I said as a Toy Story guy, it's just that I feel like maybe I think the unfortunate thing was with Buzz doing as poorly as it did. I think the future of Toy Story would have been good of doing spin-offs, but because Buzz didn't do well, I think they feel that they have to do Toy Story again. So that's my thoughts on these things they announced today. Get rid of Michael.
Yeah, I think my favorites on this list would be Frozen, and that was also one that surprised me because, like you said, Travis, I thought that was announced so long ago. I just assumed that it has been in production this whole time. Like you said, just like the big box office numbers of that second one, and it's just such a big, like, newer Disney title that I feel like a trilogy is just inevitable for it. Zootopia as well, that one like sets up a whole world in and of itself, so that's really cool that's getting a sequel, because yeah, it's a really fun world. So many different little things just make that movie interesting. The side characters, the main characters. Travis Snell has a question.
Yeah, GeekVerse podcast. Did you watch the short film things they put out this
I haven't
year,
seen it
Zootopia?
yet. Was it good?
They're fine. They're all like just they were not itching the Zootopia I wanted because they're very almost
Okay.
like SNL skits. They're not even like that Doug Dates Up when it's like, oh, a lot of like short mini movies. They're like just like one's a singing one. I don't know. They're more just skits than they are like little short films. So
Yeah.
don't rush to. But I was just wondering.
Did you watch the Baymax shorts?
Yeah, I liked those better. The same thing that told like
Yeah.
one story and stuff like that. This was not that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And then the last one being Toy Story. I mean, I haven't even seen Toy Story 4 yet, so I'm definitely not I'm definitely not
Rippin'.
itching to get into 5. And that was one that when I was reading it, I was like, I thought 3 was supposed to be the send off. So it is bizarre. But I mean, you brought up a good point that since Buzz did really not well, if they feel they need to just do those ensembles. I mean, if it's done well, like I probably wouldn't see that as a negative. It's just it's bizarre, like where we are right now, just looking on it. Especially someone like me that hasn't seen the 4th, and it's just like I remember seeing that 3rd and it feeling like the end. But here we are, all these movies later.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. It's one of those two, like in the 4th one, I feel like is the most like mixed, and even then it's like a positive mix. But it's one of these things that people are like, like you're being really close to ruining like a real good ending here. And I think they got away with it. Like, okay, we gave you one, but now going back to it again, it's like it's very tough. And like, it's not a big spoiler, but like, they give Woody like a big send off in 4. But like, I think they'll bring him back. So then it's like now if you watch 4, is that gonna feel lesser than if this was all about him doing this new journey and finding himself and stuff like that? I don't know.
Yeah, as for myself, I when I think about Disney Pixar, like I don't even know what I want, because I feel like recently, like I love Turning Red, I love Soul in terms of recent ones, but like those weren't things I was itching for or asking for, right? Like they just came out, I watched them, like, oh yeah, I've absolutely fucking love this thing. This is a great movie, one of the best of the year. And when it comes to like my favorite Pixar movies and the sequels to them, like Incredibles 2, famously my most disappointing movie of all time. Incredible, or not, I just said Incredibles again.
Incredibles 3 when they do that.
Yeah. Monsters University, like not a bad movie by any means, but it just didn't, like, I love that first movie so much, and it just didn't really do much for me, and I still haven't watched the TV show for that, actually. That released at some point.
Oh yeah, that was
right?
fun. Yeah, it's getting a second season too. Yeah, that one's fun. It's cute little monster world stuff. So
it's like I don't know. I guess I just want them to keep swinging and trying cool different things and doing movies of like different cultures and stuff like that. They've done such a good job of that the last few years, and this seems like kind of the opposite of that where they're going back to the well. And then 4 of these, like I've never seen Zootopia. The only amount of Frozen I've seen is in the Target break room, as that was playing all the time. But I've never sat down and watched a movie from start to finish. Never seen Toy Story 3 or 4, so I'm very checked out of all of these. So I don't really care, but it makes sense from a business perspective. What made $1 billion? Let's run it back. So it's unfortunate because I feel like this shows a complete lack of creative direction, and it's purely following the money trail. So not really an exciting prospect for the future of Disney Pixar. But I'm sure within these they'll still have those new weird original stuff. But I mean, even when they do that, like Strange World was kind of whatever. So they don't always nail it with those either, obviously. But
and I
I
think
like
that's
when
why
they take the swings.
Well, yeah, and I think that's why they're doing them, because their last ones have not produced money-wise. Like even Lightyear, which should have produced money-wise.
Yeah,
hasn't.
Lightyear, that's a really strange anomaly, I feel like.
Yeah, and Turning Red, it just went straight to DVD or straight to Disney Plus. Yeah, DVD. Couldn't even get on Disney Plus. Only DVD, but like that went straight to Disney Plus. So you never knew how.
Wait, like
that
it was in
would've been.
theaters, but it just was
Nope.
bombing, so they put
No, it never went to theaters. They just put straight to
Oh,
Disney
they didn't even
Plus.
try with that one. Hey, that's
Nope.
interesting.
They were doing that a lot where, what was it? It was the Pixar movies they would put straight to Disney Plus, and then the Disney animation movies they would put in the theaters, or you had to pay $30 for. It was a complete like bias towards Pixar, and that's where lots of the Pixar people were pissed. And the only one they did that for was Lightyear, where they put that in theaters, but then that bombed. So then it was like, well, what to do,
interesting.
So. Yeah, man, when you mentioned Target at Frozen Break Room, every time I went there and that movie was playing, had me looking like that, you know what I'm saying?
It's just stocking seasonal section, and they had that little screen with like the sing-along going all day. Good times.
Encanto was a good hit. Yeah, it was, but it was still in like it was big for Disney Plus, and I think box office wise it did like well, but it was still like COVID well, right? It was all those that had like the asterisks of like, okay, other than No Way Home, there was this list of movies that did well, and that was like, okay, versus other stuff. But Encanto was, and I guarantee you'll get an Encanto too. Don't worry about that. That's gonna happen. You're gonna be seeing some 7-foot-inch
I
dicks
can't
coming.
wait.
Damn, Phil.
That's how I feel about that statement.
Yeah. There you go.
He's gonna be a new background. I love it. I was trying to. I don't know how to do it. I was trying to make him our like default avatar and stuff like that.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do it. I forgot, but I'll find out because I think that'd be great. Just Michael,
Get back in here with us.
What?
Get back in here with us.
I didn't have
No,
time.
not
for
him.
it,
You
but
can
I-
you
There you go.
hit your little dots, and you can hit under edit name, edit audio avatar. And there you go.
Can you?
Yeah, and that should let you change it.
Taylor, what do you think of these movies?
Like I love Toy Story. I love Zootopia. Out of the three here, Zootopia would definitely be like top tier. Frozen is funny enough. It's like our go-to like lazy day movie. We'll pop Frozen 1 on and Frozen 2, and that'll be just our lazy day put on the background kind of movie. Travis is dying laughing right now.
I love it.
But yeah, I think that like I personally don't need another Toy Story. I feel like we like 3 was like a heckin' ending. Like that was full of emotion, and then 4 was like, okay, yeah, we're back at it, and 4 was definitely an adventure in itself. But yeah, 5th one, I'll be there to see it because I love that world, Toy Story. Personally, if you ask me though, I mean, I'm glad that we don't get sequels because I feel like it would just be beating a like a fucking, what do you call the piñatas, beating a piñata with no candy in it. So we just gotta leave it as is. But again, if I had my way, I'd love to see a Ratatouille 2 and a Bug's Life 2. But with the trend of sequels these days for them, like going off Incredibles 2, I'm happy that they just leave those greats as they are standalones.
Plus,
So.
they're making sequels for movies that
I was
people want to
looking.
see.
I was looking at Toy Story 1. It made 394 million USD, and Bug's Life made 363 million. So that's not a huge difference.
It's not actually, really. It's not back then. So I don't know why. Maybe DVD or VHS sales. I guess back home media sales made for
Yeah.
Toy Story were just much bigger than Bugs Life. I guess, and probably
Bugs
toys
Life's
too.
great.
More toys for
Toy Story.
I had
yeah.
Bug's Life toys
I
growing
had
up.
Bugs Life toys too. Yeah, the stick guy and the beetle.
I had
Yeah.
one that like scared the shit out of me. I remember it was like a big, weird looking stick bug thing, and it scared me.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was pretty big, right?
Was it an actual official like Pixar toy, or was it just a
I-
different?
Dylan's
think
just
so.
looking like this.
As a kid, yeah, with my long kid
That's what
hair.
young Dylan looks like. Yeah.
I mean, it could have been. Who knows? You know, back in the day, it's like, was it an official toy? Did my dad find it at the pawn shop? I don't know. One or the other. Some weird Rutland creation.
Well, there you go. That's what we think about that Disney little announcement there. And don't forget, you got Inside Out 2 coming out as well. So we're making that. So, yeah. Well, this was a good one. We had lots of laughs here. Thank you to the Patreon questions. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Good movie draft. Thank you to the Dexter showrunners for giving us a good laugh today. That's gonna go on some bloopers at some point because oh my goodness. This is why I gotta check out the video version for this one. So we'll be back. When's the next time we're back? We're back for Last of
Friday,
Us.
right?
Friday.
Yeah, for Last of Us episode 5. And I promise you, not be boring.
Bye-bye.
Baby.